This season's Ivy League race seems to be up for grabs. With no clear-cut favorite, each and every game becomes ultra important. Today's Princeton-Brown clash can be a tone setter for the rest of the season. Princeton is 2-1, but 0-1 in the Ivy. Having lost a tough opener to Cornell, it's been an early story of stifling defense, but struggling offense. Meanwhile, the Brown Bears think they're hitting stride. Brown is 3-0 and has won 8 of its last 10, including a 27-23 stunner over the Tigers a year ago. Can the Bears make it 2 in a row over Princeton and go 2-0 in the Ivy? Or will the Tigers climb back into the Ivy race against one of the conference's most improved teams? Those questions will be answered today in Providence. It's Princeton versus Brown, next.
Hang on, Jimmy! Come on, give me on the head! I can't! I'm slipping! Hey, Jimmy! What? You ever get the feeling other shows are filming the same scenes we are? No. Why do you say that? Hang on, Freddie! Tommy, hang on!
Ready for something different? USA Network, the cure for the common shell.
RCN Channel 8 Sports presents Princeton Tigers football. This afternoon, the Brown Bears play host to the Princeton Tigers. And welcome to Brown Stadium on the campus of Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island, site of today's Ivy League clash between Brown and Princeton. Hello again, everyone. I'm Lou Brogno. Glad you could join us for what is a very important Ivy League game for both of these ball clubs. Princeton comes in with a record of 2-1, but 0-1 in the Ivy League after losing the season opener to Cornell in Ithaca. For Brown, it's their best start since 1987. The Bears are 3-0 and also 1-0 in the Ivy after blasting Yale in Week 1. Alongside is Frank LeBono, and Frank, this is a classic matchup of the outstanding offense, the #1 offense in the nation in the Brown Bears, going up against the third-ranked defense in the nation, the Princeton Tigers.
Well, Lou, I get to dust off all my cliches right away in the pregame. The irresistible force, the immovable object. And you talk about irresistible in Brown, they are #1 in the nation in both scoring and yards per game. They average, get this, 44 points a game and 521 yards in total offense. Most impressive. Now, the visiting team on the other side of the line of scrimmage, the Princeton Tigers, an excellent defense, ranked #3 nationally, particularly good against the run, giving up only 1.6 yards per rush. So again, that irresistible force, immovable object, something's going to have to give today.
And the key matchup individually as far as the defense versus offense is concerned, well, the outstanding All-American wide receiver for the Brown Bears, Sean Morey, going up against the All-American cornerback for Princeton, Damani Leach.
All right, well, let's talk about the visitors. Damani Leach, show me Damani. Again, I dusted off that cliche, although that's a new one. He's an outstanding player for Princeton, #9. Very quick, and that's evidenced by the fact that not only is he an outstanding All-American candidate at cornerback, he is also an excellent kick and punt returner. Sooner or later in certain defensive schemes, there's no question that he'll be matched up with Morey and have to cover him one-on-one. All right, now with the Brown player, #24, Sean Murray, you want to talk about statistics. This guy is incredible. He leads the nation in almost every receiving category. He has 460 total receiving yards, 6 TDs, averages over 21 yards per catch, #1 in the nation. Obviously a dangerous man to get the ball to.
All right, we are just moments away from the opening kickoff. It's Princeton versus Brown. You're watching Princeton Tigers football on RCN Channel 8 Sports.
The best cable channels can only be found in RCN's Family Value Package. RCN's Family Value Package is the complete cable package. Call 1-800-321-0544.
Welcome back to Brown Stadium on a gorgeous autumn afternoon in southern New England. Temperature in the 60s and bright sunshine, a perfect day for college football. The Brown Bears and the Princeton Tigers captains meet at midfield. This is an old series, obviously, as all Ivy League series are. The first meeting took place in 1898 between the Bears and the Tigers, and Princeton, for the most part, has had the better part of the series, winning 44 times to Brown's 19 wins. In fact, the Tigers won 10 in a row until last year when Brown beat the Tigers 27-23 at Palmer Stadium. Frank, let's talk about Princeton. What do they need to do to come up with a big road victory here today?
Well, road is the key word there, Lou. As Princeton, maybe people don't know, they're rebuilding their stadium and therefore have to play all their games on the road. So it's very important they concentrate and focus, which is difficult on the road. But specifically, because they're playing against the #1 offense in the country, they need to be able to keep the ball away from Brown, and they can do that by controlling the line of scrimmage and establishing a running game. Also, then from there on the defensive side of the ball, they must pressure the quarterback for Brown, obviously because of their great passing game. Now for Brown, what they have to do is they have to play their game, which is a wide open, move the ball down the field, get it all over the yard, and of course, get the ball to their big guy, Sean Moran.
All right, Princeton will kick off left to right on your screen. The Tigers in their road white uniforms, the orange helmets, of course, and the orange numerals, and Brown in their, you guessed it, home brown jerseys with the white numerals, silver helmets trimmed with red. Greg Nortman kicks off for Princeton, and this game is underway. It's a high kick that is fumbled by Mike Wall. He picks it up at the 5 to the 10, breaks a tackle, still on his feet across the 20-yard line. And Brown will put it in play at that point. The Bears' offensive line starts with their center, Tim Hevesy, a junior, 6'2", 265. Peter Calabrese and Jason Morgan are the guards, and Dan McClutchy, a preseason All-American, is at left tackle. Shelton McGee lines up at right tackle, Zach Burns the tight end. Outstanding receivers, Gordon Nangmeni and Sean Morey, and Mike Wall and Azebo Smith are behind quarterback James Perry, a sophomore, 6'1", 180. He rolls out right side, throws long, has a receiver. Morey makes the catch at the 45, and it's a first down for Brown in Princeton territory. Here's the Tigers' defense. The defensive ends are Griff King and Dan Swingos, Mark Whaling and David Ferrara, the tackles. Outstanding set of linebackers, Jamie Toddings, Mike Veronese, and the All-Ivy League linebacker, Tim Green. Damani Leach, the All-American at one corner. Jerry Wilson is the other. Brett Marshall and Tom Ludwig are the safeties. Ludwig has started 26 games in his Princeton career. Brown quickly up to the line of scrimmage with a 1st and 10 in Princeton territory at the 46. Perry in the shotgun looks to throw. Princeton good pressure, but he dumps it out to Wall. Wall has plenty of room. A burst of speed across the 25. And quickly the Bears are down to the Princeton 23-yard line.
Well, you see their wide open offense, little rollout action on the first play, Lou, then shotgun, nice looking the cornerback away, then throwing back to the fullback. A very popular play these days with guys like Mike Allstott, people may have heard from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fullbacks lately, especially from a receiving standpoint, playing a much more integral part in teams' offenses.
Brown runs what they call the whiplash offense, named for head coach Mark Whipple. It's not exactly a run and shoot, but it does feature a whole lot of passing. They do run this time over left tackle across the 20-yard line. Azebo Smith carries the football. He's a sophomore averaging 4.1 yards per carry. I think any coach will take that.
You know, and he was out last week, and he was replaced by Mike Powell, who did a great job and was the Ivy League Offensive Rookie of the Week. So they got nice depth there at the tailback position between Azebo Smith and his backup, Mike Powell.
Just underway first quarter, initial drive of the game for the Bears. 2 runs Two runners behind Perry. The give is up the middle, and a nice hit by Tim Green at the line of scrimmage. Short pickup. Smith carried the football, and it will bring up a third down at about 4 for the Bears. Ball is marked at the 17.
Excuse me, Lou. Tim Green, number 44, the outside linebacker, the leading tackler on the Princeton defense, an outstanding 3-year performer. He's a hard-nosed guy, not too big, about 5'9", 210, but quick and aggressive.
Brown comes up to the line of scrimmage. The Bears drop back into the shotgun. James Perry, hitting on 56% of his passes, sends Morey in motion. Now he looks, has protection, looks end zone for Morey, and it's knocked away by Damani Leach. An outstanding defensive play.
An interesting play. They put Morey in motion that time to try to free him up, but Princeton doubled him up between the safety and the cornerback. The safety had inside coverage, and then Damani Leach in the corner took the angle of the pass away. Good defense by Princeton. Good job of them holding down deep in their own territory.
So the Tigers force a field goal attempt. Tom Root comes in to kick. He's a 5'11" senior, 190 pounds. It will be a 33-yard field goal attempt. The snap is good. The kick is up. Line drive. Kick is good. And Brown breaks on top. Bears have a 3-0 lead with just over 3 minutes gone by here in this first quarter.
Well, Lou, they just need 41 more points to equal their average. They are obviously a scoring machine. We talked a little bit before the game, the level of competition for Brown, probably not the best in the country at this point. So we were wondering how legitimate, quite frankly, those statistics were, because they are so gaudy. 521 yards of total offense, 44 points a game. I mean, nobody does that, not even Nebraska. So we were just wondering how for real Brown really was. And we really thought this would be a good test because Princeton is so competitive defensively. But that time, first time down, Brown looked very good, mixed it up well, good mix of pass and run, but also moving the ball around from sideline to sideline. That's very tough to defend.
Well, let's see how Princeton responds. The Tigers defense certainly gave up a lot of yardage on that initial drive, but they stiffened up when they had to.
You know, that's a lot of defensive coaches and coordinators have that bend but not break philosophy, especially against a wide open team like Brown. They'll give them the yardage between the 20s, then really stiffen up from there, because you know they're going to get their share of yardage. The key is to keep them out of the end zone.
Tom Root tees it up at the 35-yard line, and he will kick right to left on your screen. It's a line drive kick. They try to keep it away from Damani Leach, and it goes out of bounds inside the 10. The Tigers probably will take it at the 35-yard line in this situation. Princeton offensively has struggled so far this season. Bernard Marczyk is the center, Amin Abdullah and Brian Herdman the guards, Justin Bennett and Steve Lamberton, 2 huge tackles. Jason Glotzback is the tight end, but you know what? I think Brown's going to re-kick. Thought Princeton was going to take it at the 35. They certainly appeared to be heading in that direction, but Steve Toshis thought about it and said, let's kick it again.
Well, you know, normally most teams will take it on the 35-yard line, good position, but a lot of teams don't have Damani Leach to return the kick. He is a threat to go all the way every time, so obviously Coach Toshis feels, hey, let's give him a shot to run with the football.
Leach has done an outstanding job, punt returning, kick returning in the secondary. He is a special player. And Brown now has to kick it again. They'll tee it up this time at the 30-yard line. $3-0 Brown, just underway here in this first quarter. Root gets into it, line drive kick again. The aim is to keep it away from Leach. Picked up by an up back at the 20, 2-30. And as it turns out, the Tigers lose a yard on that exchange. They'll get it at the 34-yard line. All right, we already gave you the Princeton offensive line. How about the backs and receivers? Ryan Crowley lines up at one wide receiver position. He's a junior, 6 foot, 185 pounds, out of Norfolk, Nebraska. Philip Wendler starts at the other receiver slot, but you'll see a lot of Ray Cannoli in that position as well. In the backfield, Jerry Girardo gets the start at tailback, a sophomore, 5'10", 170 pounds out of Jacksonville, Florida. And Mike Clifford is the fullback, the senior, 5'11", 205. Harry Nakelny, the quarterback, 6'2", senior out of Sayreville, New Jersey. Number 13 fakes the handoff. Play action, fires incomplete. He had a receiver open across the 50-yard line. That was Ray Cannoli. But the pass a little bit too high, and it brings up a second down. The Brown defense and the Bears have not been noted for their defense over the past several years, but they do have a couple of outstanding players, especially in the middle. The front line is Dave Gatcha and Matt Simmons. Simmons last year single-handedly destroyed Princeton. He was the National Player of the Week. Listen to these stats, Frank. 10 tackles, 4 sacks, a blocked punt, and an interception against the Tigers. They never wanted to see him again.
Those were career stats for me, Lou.
We'll give you the rest of the D after this play. Split backs behind McKelney. The give, nothing doing. The Bears played the run very well. Princeton unable to get it going. Dave Gatcha on the tackle. All right, the rest of the defense, Eric Wallace and Fry Wernick are the defensive tackles. The linebackers, an active group. Matt Kraskowskis, try it again, Lou. Matt Kraskowskis, Joe Karkutsky, and Ernest Dean in the middle. Alex Pitts and Jamal Stevenson are the corners, and Jason Lenderman and Rocky Parson are the safeties. Loss of 2. And the Tigers in a hole. 3rd down and 12. McKelney drops back into the shotgun. He's in trouble now. Hit as he delivers the pass. It is incomplete. Matt Simmons got in on the play and hit McKelney as he released it. And the Tigers will have to punt.
See, Lou, defenses live for such situations. 3rd and 12. Team pinned back deep in their own territory. They have to throw the football. You know, those defensive linemen just live for that because they will ignore the run, pin their ears back, and go after that quarterback.
Matt Evans is in punt formation, averaging 43 yards a kick this year. It bounces to Morey. That's not Morey, excuse me. It is Wall. Wall carries across the 50. Mike Wall. An excellent return. And it's not Mike Wall either. Stephen Campbell carries the football.
Well, from a punt returning aspect, Lou, it's very important. If you can make the first guy miss, you have a good chance of a long return. That's always the key. You got to make that first guy miss, and then you have a little bit of room to operate. That's what you can break out those open field moves, and that's exactly what Campbell did there for a solid return ball on the Princeton side of the field.
Well, that last punt return will teach me to use my binoculars here today. We are way up here at Brown Stadium, high up in the press box. A little tough to see those numbers. All right, it is 1st down and 10 for the Bears at the 48-yard line. Morey comes wide to the left. Now Yemi goes wide right, and now the Bears have to take a timeout. We're a little unsure on that offensive set, and they'll talk it over. They head over to the sidelines, and head coach Mark Whipple. Mark Whipple in his 10th season as a head coach. He's 20-13 here at Brown, but 68-30 overall. He coached at the University of New Haven before coming here to Brown, and he was an outstanding quarterback himself. He played here at Brown. In fact, he led the Bears to a 44-point performance against Princeton in 1978 as the quarterback.
You know, when it's interesting, Princeton has not surrendered more than 37 points under Steve Tosh's regime, so this could be interesting to see. You know, I'm sure Brown will try to do it and match their 44, and why shouldn't they? That's the name of the game. Score more than your opponent.
We talked about the Bears being off to their best start. Their best start since 1987. 1st down 10. Morey goes in motion. Perry a long count. Now he fakes the handoff, play action, swings it out the wall. Jamie Toddings read it beautifully. Toddings, the senior out of Barnegat, New Jersey, makes a big play and the tackle for the loss.
Lou, that time they try to use Morey as a decoy that time to clear the zone. They put him in motion, he tried to clear the zone, and they tried to throw back to the fullback, but number 35, Toddings, would have none of it, held his position, made a great play.
A loss of about 5, 2nd and 15, handoff up the middle. And again, the Tigers play it very well. The initial penetration, Jamie Toddings, again, short pickup. And now Brown in a 3rd down and 13.
an excellent play again by Tigers. He's playing very aggressively, Lou. He's really forcing the action, and I think you've got to do that against a team like Brown. You can't let that quarterback just sit back there, Perry, and pick you apart. Got to get pressure on the quarterback. We talked about it in the pregame.
Receiver split left and right. Perry looks to throw. In trouble now and sacked. Excellent play for the Tigers coming in on the sack. Looked like Tim Green and also Nathan Podsikoff, a backup defensive tackle.
Right. Did a nice job, too. Fought through the block, made the sack.
All right, Tom Root is in punt formation. It's a high kick. Damani Leach stays away. Now he picks it up at the 20, gets a block, tries to angle, and is brought down. A beautiful downfield tackle for the Bears. Alex Pitts on the coverage. That's tough to do against Damani Leach.
Absolutely, an extremely quick back, but they tell you Pitts did the right thing. In the open field, Lou, you have to break down. With that, of course, you're not talking about mentally there. We're talking physically. By breakdown, we mean is you got to square your body so that you can move equally left or right. That's the absolute key in the open field. He did a great job. But also, I tell you right now, Leach did a good job of fielding that ball and not letting it roll to the end zone. So actually a good play on both players' parts. First
down, 10 Tigers at the 15-yard line. McKelney looks to throw. He fires. It is incomplete. Cannoli was open across the 20-yard line. Well, Harry McKelney has struggled this year. Harry hitting at 48.5%, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and quite frankly, Steve Tosches wants a little bit more production out of that quarterback slot.
Well, McKelney had a good year before last, but he was out of school last year, and he's a little rusty. I think he's showing the effects of missing that year, Lou, and of course, who wouldn't, especially a young player. It's hard to catch up.
Tigers came up in the eye, then shift out of it with twin receivers to the left, the handoff, and there's not much there. Princeton has had difficulty running the football. Dave Gatcha made the play. Jerry Gerardo on the carry. What a great name for a defensive end, Gatcha.
I tell you, you stole my thunder there, Lou. I was waiting to use that one, and you got me.
Third down and 11 coming up for Princeton.
You know me, king of the cliche, and you just stole one on me.
9 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm sure you'll get one later.
Sooner or later, Lou, I'm bound to.
This time, trip receivers head out to the right side. McKelney is in the shotgun. It's a bad snap that McKelney picks up off the ground, then fires. Cannoli, the diving catch over the 30-yard line. That's enough for a Princeton first down. That's a very nice throw by McKelney and a good catch by Cannoli.
Overall, a great job all around. Good job by the quarterback to recover from the low snap. Good job by the offensive lineman to protect him. And then a nice pattern end reception by Cannoli. Can I get Holy Cannoli in there? Not yet. He's got to score. Then we'll do that one.
You already have. 8 minutes and 52 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Princeton has a first down and 10 at the 31. I formation for the Tigers, and receivers are split left and right. McKelney, quick drop, and it's tipped at the line of scrimmage. Looked like Roderick Parson got in to tip it away. The strong safety, obviously, Brown was going with a safety blitz on that play.
It's interesting. You know, it's funny. I've been watching the defense, and the defensive backs are inching up, but Princeton is countering that by throwing the ball on first down. That's a good move by Coach Tosches.
Second down, 10 for the Tigers. 20 receivers this time go to the left, and again, Princeton shifts out of the eye. McKelney, play action. Now in trouble, sets up a screen. Gerardo makes the catch and is crushed. Jamal Stevenson, the right corner, came in and just absolutely punished him at the 25.
Just was absolutely not fooled at all, Lou. A little bit of a play action pass and then what they call a little flat pass out here to the near side of the field. But the fake was really a little bit weak by McKelney. He's got to really use that fake a little bit more. He really has to sell that to the defense. If you don't sell that, you're going nowhere fast, obviously.
Third down, 14 for Princeton. McKelney goes back in the shotgun, and he has twin receivers to the left side. Brown shows blitz. McKelney straight back to throw. Out now he has time. He steps up, throws long downfield, overthrows his receiver badly.
Pressure was by, go ahead, Lou, I'll let you say it since you murdered it the first time. I'll give you a second chance. The blitzing linebacker came from his left outside linebacker position, caused McKinley to step up and throw the ball just before he was ready, therefore the incompletion.
Punt formation for Matt Evans again, his second punt of the afternoon. It bounces at the 35 and then takes a good Brown bounce at that point. Stephen Campbell lets it sit on the ground, and the Bears will have a first down and 10. This telecast of Princeton University football is sponsored in part by McCaffrey Supermarkets. McCaffrey's, there is a difference. McCaffrey Supermarkets are committed to maintaining the highest standards in fresh meats and poultry. McCaffrey's uses only USDA-inspected prime and choice meats, as well as certified Angus beef in all their stores. McCaffrey's, a supermarket experience in Princeton, West Windsor, and Yardley, Pennsylvania. First and 10 for the Bears at their own 38-yard line. Perry comes up under center, and Nagmenyi goes in motion. Here's the handoff up the middle. Solid run by Azebo Smith. He's across the 45 and up to the 47.
Nice little trap play that time, Lou, with a good hole at the point of attack, and that starts with your offensive lineman. You've got to have a good block at the point of attack, and then you get a quick back like Azebo Smith, cut off that block, good yardage, 9 yards on first down.
Second down, 1 for the Bears. Handoff up the middle, weaving his way across the 50 and into Princeton territory. Mike Wall on the catch.
Big fullback, only 16 yards on the year. He's shown his ability as a pass catcher. We saw that in the first series as he caught a long pass. He's got to show a little bit more as a runner there, but he got that tough yardage. They needed 1. He picked up about 2.5, first down Brown.
First and 10 for the Bears at the Princeton 49, and Perry rolls out right side, steps up, throws, intercepted, picked off for the Tigers. It's Jerry Wilson who makes the pick, the sophomore out of Piscataway, and Princeton is in business near midfield.
Wilson made the pick, but Green made the play. The outside linebacker, number 44, the leading tackler for Princeton, on a blitz, moved up, forced Perry out of his rhythm, hurried his throw, causing the interception. So again, he doesn't necessarily get the statistic, no sack there, but certainly the pressure by Tim Green caused the interception.
Let's see if Princeton can take advantage. They have a first and 10 at their own 43. Gerardo gets the pitch back to McKelney. He throws into double coverage, and it is incomplete at the 20-yard line. Intended for Cannoli downfield. Jason Lenderman, Greg Bauer actually knocked it away, and one of the Brown players is down at the 20-yard line.
I think it might be Bauer. I'm not sure. He looks like the only one who didn't get up. Is that number 25? Again, as you said, Lou, we are a long way from the field. Checking out the monitor here. No, it is number 20, Alex Pitt. Just a little shaken up as they both went up for the ball, Lou. A little bit of collision here. Probably just got the wind knocked out of him for a second. You know, that was excellent defense. A little razzle-dazzle, handoff, toss it back to the quarterback, try to find a receiver, but no one was fooled. Both Pitt was there and Bauer were there. There was just no open receivers at all. So Brown was not fooled. Good defense, especially for the defensive backs holding their position.
Second and 10 for the Tigers at the 43-yard line. Twin receivers this time come out to the right. Man goes in motion, and McKelney straight back to throw. He looks, the fullback, Mike Clifford, out of the backfield, across the 50 and across the 45. And Clifford very dangerous as a receiver in the Princeton offense.
That's an excellent call and an excellent play. It's kind of like a little slip pass, so not quite a screen. A screen, obviously, you would let the lineman in and then move the offensive lineman out and set up a wall of blockers. That wasn't exactly the case, but similar in that the fullback slipped through the line into the flat. He was left uncovered. First down, Princeton. Great call, great play.
Tigers first down and 10 at the Brown 44. The Bears lead it 3-0. Handoff up the middle to Clifford. And he is banged down after a short pickup. Rocky Parson in on the tackle. Parson came into the game with 16 tackles from his strong safety position.
You know, good size, strong safety at about 6 foot, 195. So certainly in this league, a good size safety. And I've been noticing that he keeps inching up for run support. I'm sure Tashes is going to pick that up as he has. A little play action pass on first or second down could work well.
2nd down and 7 for the Tigers. Split backs behind McKelney, and the play action again. Flips it out, catch is made. Again it is Clifford. Mike Clifford across the 30-yard line. Matt Kraskowskis on the tackle, but that's enough for a Princeton first down. Looks like the Tigers have something going now with that fullback coming out of the backfield.
I tell you, it's a very popular play these days. I tell you, it seemed like in the world of football, the fullback had gotten lost for a while, except as a blocker. But guys like Moose Johnson in Dallas and Allstott down in Tampa Bay, these big guys who show the ability to slip into the flat, catch the ball, and then run with it afterwards, very effective weapon for the offense.
Handoff goes up the middle. Damian Taylor carries the football. He has a couple. Again, he's hit by Kraskowskis, who's very active on the Brown defense. But the Tigers pick up a yard, 2nd down and 9. They are at the Brown 27-yard line.
You know, Kraskowskis is not a big guy, 5'10", 190 pounds. Not big for a linebacker, so he has to rely on other things, quickness, positioning, and aggressiveness. And he's used that all effectively so far in the first quarter.
5 minutes remaining here in the first. Brown has a 3-0 lead, but the Tigers are driving in Brown territory. McKelney looks to throw. He fires, catch made. Cannoli down near the 15-yard line at the 16. Alex Pitts on the tackle, but that's enough for a first down. Well, Princeton looking a little sharper here now on offense.
Well, I tell you, McKinley looked sharp. You know what? Because the receiver was fairly well covered. But McKinley put it on what we used to call a frozen rope, throwing the ball as hard as he can to make sure that his receiver had the direct beat on the ball. That was a nice throw by the quarterback, McKinley.
Handoff up the middle. Damian Taylor drives forward. He's inside the 15 to about the 12-yard line. So a pickup of about 4. 2nd down and 6 coming up.
You know, Lou, Princeton has a really big offensive line. They're a little young, a lot of sophomores, a lot of juniors. They've lost so many players last year, so many skilled players, but they have a large offensive line. If they could gel today and establish something at the line of scrimmage, Brown is much smaller. That could be a real big key today.
Trip receivers go out to the left side, but McKelney looking right as he barks the signals. He's going to throw right. Fires, incomplete. It was tipped. Jamal Stevenson on the coverage.
Yeah, it was tipped at the line of scrimmage. I was looking for a flag there because it looked like Stevenson, number 6, got there a little early for Brown. But because the ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, no flag. Obviously, it becomes a wide open play, and you can get at the receiver before the ball gets there since it's been touched.
Crowley goes wide to the left, and Cannoli goes wide to the right. McKelney, play action again, steps up, fires, catch made by Crowley. He's in, touchdown, Princeton. Ryan Crowley on the touchdown reception, and the Tigers have taken the lead.
Lou, a couple of good things about that play. First of all, excellent protection from the line of scrimmage, which gave McKinley the time in the pocket because they had to drag Crowley all the way across the field. It takes time for him to run all the way from left to right, clear the zone. Nice play, Princeton. It worked well.
Alex Sirk is in to kick the extra point. The snap is good, the kick is up, and it is good. 3 minutes and 42 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. It's Princeton 7 and Brown 3.
Well, I'd say that was a nice looking drive, Lou, because they mixed it up so well. They really did a few key runs, keeping the defense honest, a couple of those little swing passes out to the fullback for good yardage, and then the touchdown play. Really well coordinated. Good protection by the offensive line. McKinley hung in the pocket, Crowley ran a beautiful pattern, and then McKinley delivered the ball perfectly. A real nice-looking drive for Princeton.
Harry McKelney to Ryan Crowley for the touchdown. And the Tigers broke on top. That's got to make the Princeton offense feel pretty good. They've struggled this year to get points. They've moved the ball nicely between the 20s, but they have not been able to deliver when they get inside the red zone. So that's got to make them feel good in a game of this magnitude.
Well, no, they really looked confident in their plays and how they executed seriously. They did things with a purpose, and that's so important, especially in a big game like this.
Greg Nortman will kick it off, and back deep, Sean Morey and Mike Wall. It goes to Wall at the 5, he's to the 10, 20-yard line, hit and dropped. Good defensive play downfield for the Tigers. Number 39 looked like, number 38, Mike Clifford, who got down.
You know, it's interesting that they use Wall, the fullback, actually as a return man. That's unusual. Usually the fullback on a kick return is an up player, again, because he can handle the ball if need be, but mostly for blocking purposes. Brown chooses to use Wall, their fullback, as one of the kick returners. A little unusual.
Let's see how the Bears respond, trailing for the first time this afternoon. 7-3 Princeton. Here's the flip to Smith. He's across the 25-yard line, picks up a couple. Actually, it's Mike Powell who carried the football. Freshman, 5'11", 175. Rookie of the week.
Yeah, rushed for 96 yards last week on 16 carries. Did a nice job. Good backup for Zebo Smith. You know, it's important to have depth on your team, especially at the running back position. You got to spell those running backs every once in a while.
3 minutes left in the first, and the play action fake to Powell, the throw out to Wall. He's nailed. A very short pickup, and again, an excellent defensive play. Getting over there, Tom Ludwig, and he read it beautifully. Ludwig came in with 20 tackles on the season.
And again, Lou, perfect technique in the open field by a strong safety. A strong safety has to be the best tackler in your defensive backfield, and he did it again. He broke down, and he got himself in the great position to make an open field tackle. Good defense.
Well, the Princeton defense really stiffening up here after the initial drive. Brown looked very good. And Tigers sent everything but the kitchen sink that time. Brett Marshall on a safety blitz. And that made Perry throw the pass a little bit earlier than he wanted to. And just like that, Brown is 3 and out.
I tell you, Princeton is just doing a great job both offensively and defensively with their game plan. Defensively, they're putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, which is one of the things we talked about in the pregame. You can't let Perry sit back there and pick you apart. Pressure, 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 and that's exactly what Princeton is doing.
Tom Root to punt. It's blocked. The Tigers block the punt at the 15-yard line. Let's see who it is who made the block. It looks like Rocky Fatizzi. That would be his 4th blocked punt in 4 games.
That's absolutely incredible. It beautifully came right off the corner, showed good speed and good technique going for the football instead of the kicker. That's how you avoid roughing the kicker penalties, and that's how you manage to block 4 punts in a single season with good quickness and good technique.
Princeton with a first down and 10 at the Brown 15. The Tigers trying to capitalize. Sent twin receivers to the right side. McKelney looks to throw, steps up, fires, end zone, touchdown, Princeton. The catch made by Ken Neverez, a backup wide receiver, a terrific catch in the corner of the end zone.
And again, McKinley, a perfect throw, Lou. You know, it's funny, we heard it going in that he was a little bit inconsistent. They were waiting for him to come around. Maybe today's the day, because I tell you, the receiver was well covered, but the ball was perfectly thrown. Perfectly thrown. It was thrown hard, and it was thrown in exactly the right position. Otherwise, that's not a score. Defense wasn't that bad.
The Tigers take advantage after the blocked punt, and Alex Sirk comes in to kick the extra point. Princeton looking to go up 14-3 here in the first quarter. The kick is up. It's good. 2 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the first, and what a surprise here in Providence. Princeton leads 14-3.
I tell you, Princeton has come in extremely well prepared here. They look great on offense and defense. They're mixing things up. I love the call. After a turnover, go right for the jugular. Your team is not ready to play. Your defense has just come off the field. They're a little disorganized. All of a sudden, they got to come back on the field. They're not feeling really settled in their positions. Good coach takes advantage of that. That's exactly what Tasha's and Princeton did. They look great today. They look very well prepared to play this football game.
Steve Tasha's in his 11th year, 66, 35-2, 3 Ivy League titles at the helm of the Princeton Tigers.
You know, Cirque, the kicker is an interesting character. Not only is he an excellent kicker, and he is that, he also has a 3.95 grade point average at Princeton. That's pretty good.
In molecular biology.
No less. You know, I don't know if people realize how difficult it is to play in the Ivy League because of the stringent academic standards.
Kick taken by Wall. He's at the 5-10. He hands it to Morey on a reverse. Sean Morey at the 20, and he's knocked out of bounds across the 25. So the Bears trying to go to their bag of tricks a little bit.
But a good job again by defense, by the Princeton defense, if you will, or kick coverage team, by holding their positions. So it's very important when you have to cover on a kick, you have to play assignment lane football, stay in your lane, diagnose the play, then attack. And that's exactly what Princeton did. Again, a sign of good coaching.
Twin receivers go to the right side. Brown trails 14-3 after taking a 3-0 lead early in the first quarter. James Perry, the quarterback, in the shotgun, looks to throw, has protection. Now he fires. The catch is made over the middle by Campbell, and he rambles up the sidelines near the 50-yard line. A penalty flag, though, is down. This could be holding against the Bears.
You know, Lou, I was just going to say the key to that play, again, an outstanding job by the offensive line protecting the quarterback, but they had a little help, and it's called a hold. Can't do it, folks.
That will cost them yardage and, of course, a big play, which would have brought them up near the 50-yard line.
You know, and it was a extremely well-conceived play, but that's the kind of play that takes time, Lou, because what you've got to do is you've got to have your wide receivers clear the zone, then drag a guy underneath. You've got to have the offensive line protection. They had it. Unfortunately, they had a little piece of one of the Princeton guys' jersey as well. That's a no-no, 10-yard penalty.
First down and 22. Of course, it's from the spot of the foul. And now Brown is in trouble. Deep in their own zone at the 15. The handoff goes up the middle, and the Tigers will have no part of that. David Ferrara makes the stop.
The big defensive tackle out of Ramsey, New Jersey. Lou, a very physical player, not the biggest guy on the defensive line at 6'3", 240, but he's tough. He's really tough. He's very physical, very aggressive, and that's the key to his game.
Perry goes back into the shotgun, and he looks to throw. Now runs out of the pocket, hit, fumble. Ball is loose, picked up by the Tigers. They're going to call him down, I believe. What is the call? Good question. Griff King, actually it's Podzikoff and David Ferrara, who combined.
Hey, right now, Lou, Brown looks very, very confused. They're calling it a dead ball, not a fumble. It looked like a fumble to us from up here, Lou, but they're calling it a dead ball. Right now, I tell you, Brown does not want to be in this position against one of the best defenses in the country. They are really pressing, and they look a little bit disorganized.
I'll tell you, Brown really got a major break on that play. That was clearly a fumble from my vantage point. Handoff goes up the middle, and breaking up near the 20-yard line is Azebo Smith, but well short of first down yardage, and Brown will have to punt.
Again, a deceptive play from an offensive standpoint. You figured you just picked up 6 or 7 yards, but when you need about 25, the defense will always give you 6 or 7 yards. Brown looks very, very disorganized right now.
Tom Root to kick. It's a high end-over-end kick. Damani Leach lets it bounce at the 46-yard line. Princeton will have the football in Brown territory at the 46.
Look, right now, everything is going Princeton's way. For example, that punt, and I was just going to chastise Damani Leach a little bit for not fair catching that. That's the kind of play you want to get that arm up, get the fair catch, and get good field position. Because if that bounces and starts rolling in the other direction, you're in a hole. But today, for Princeton, it goes in the opposite direction, and they gain yardage. Everything going well for Princeton right now.
This will be the last play of the first quarter. 5 seconds left, and the Tigers come up with a first down and 10 at the Brown 46. Split backs behind McKelney, play action, rolls out left, throws outside and bounces one at the 41, and that'll do it. The first quarter has come to an end here in Providence. The score, Princeton 14 and Brown 3. You're watching Princeton Tigers football on RCN Channel 8 Sports.
Hey, Emeril Lagasse here, kicking off the Food Network's Bam Bam San Diego Jam Sweepstakes. You can win a trip for 2 to the Super Bowl, tickets to the taste of the NFL, and a pre-game brunch with me. Just watch the Food Network and find my BAM logo on the screen. Mail a postcard with the date, time, program, your name, address, and phone number by November 9th to this address.
Second quarter just about ready to get underway here in Providence. Second down and 10 for the Princeton Tigers as they move right to left on your screen. Princeton leads 14-3 over Brown as we begin quarter number 2. That throw over the middle, the catch by Jerry Girardo. And it's a pickup of about 8 on the play. Actually, they mark it as a 7-yard completion. Third down and 3 for Princeton at the 39.
Say, Lou, I've been impressed with McKelney, and I should pronounce his name correctly if I'm going to be impressed with him as a player. I'd say he looks strong, stands in the pocket, and throws a hard ball with confidence and authority. And I know that's what the coaches were looking for, and they're getting it today.
Third and 3. McKelney in the shotgun, steps back. Now he's in trouble, wants to run out of there, does. Gets away at the 40, dives forward, but he is short of the first down. Jermaine Agray, the freshman defensive end, made the play for the Bears. Now 4th down and 1. Let's see what Steve Toshis elects to do here.
I'll tell you, it's just an interesting call, because what you could do if you're lucky with a coffin corner punt and you do get him inside the 10 and your defense is playing very well today, that's one option. But of course your offense is rolling just as well. Put a little bit of pressure on that defense, and that's what Toshis has decided to do. Princeton's going for it.
And the Brown fans get into it, trying to cheer their defense on. 4th down and 1 at the 38-yard line. Movement at the line of scrimmage. Joe Karkutsky came across, but the question is, was he drawn?
That's a tough call, because there are so many little subtleties and nuances going on in that line of scrimmage. You don't know whether he was pulled off or he went off on his own. Let's see.
And it is offside Brown. That's a Princeton first down. Karkutsky, the linebacker, was coming.
To senior, the leading tackler, those are the guys you want to count on for leadership. You don't want them making mistakes like that. Key play, 4th and 1, and your senior leading tackler goes off sides. I'd say everything is going south for Brown right now. You know, you might want to call a timeout. I know it's not a basketball game, but you might want to, Whipple might want to call a timeout and reorganize here. They do look a little disorganized.
First down 10 for Princeton. Tigers looking to take advantage. Twin receivers go to the left, split backs behind McKelney. Here's the pitch to Girardo. He goes around the right side, and a nice run by Jerry Girardo on first down.
You know, a nice block at the point of attack by the tight end, Jason Glotzback, did a nice job. Remember, Lou, running backs don't go anywhere if their offensive linemen are not blocking for them. A nice job at the point by number 89, Jason Glotzback, enabled Girardo to turn the corner and get good yardage.
A pickup of 5. The ball sits at the 26-yard line, and the Tigers are on the move. They have a 14-3 lead here in the second quarter. Split backs behind McKelney as he looks over the Brown D, and he hands it off again. Again, another huge hole for Gerardo, who picks his way and weaves through the left side of the line. That's close to a first down.
I think he's got it, in a great lead block by the fullback, Mike Clifford, number 38, the key to the play. The linebacker was blitzing. He was in the backfield. Clifford cut him down right there, which allowed Gerardo to cut off that block, sufficient for first down yardage. I tell you, I'm very impressed with Princeton, very impressed, especially offensively, which we heard they weren't so terrific at. They looked very good today.
Well, Brown is in a little bit of trouble here. The Bears really have to buckle their chin straps. They can't afford to get too far behind Princeton. Gerardo, another nice run. Again, it's over the left side. Justin Bennett and Hamid Abdullah on the left side of the line with excellent blocks.
Just ran through a tackle by number 42. Matt Simmons had a shot at him in the backfield, but Gerardo, not the biggest guy in the world, at 5'10", 170, ran right through that arm tackle. He made him look like a guy at about 220, and Gerardo's only at 170. Brown's got to do a better job of tackling than that, Lou.
Second down, 5 at the 16. Gerardo hit, and he crashes across the 15. Pickup of about a yard or so. The Bears getting a good defensive play from Ernest Dean, the outside linebacker. He came into the game with 21 tackles on the season.
Again, 42. Simmons in the backfield again, slowed him down, Lou, but failed to make the play. When you're in the backfield and you've got a chance to pin a running back with a loss, you've got to make that play, especially when your team's behind and the other team is driving. You've got to step up and make a big play.
Well, now third down and 4. McKelney barks the signals. The ball is at the 15. He looks to throw, has plenty of time, fires incomplete. That one behind the intended receiver, Jerry Gerardo. And the Tigers now will have to line up for a field goal. So Brown holds in a tough situation.
Big defensive stop there. They could not afford to give up 7 points. 3 here, possibly, especially with their offensive explosiveness. But very important that they held on that series, and they did.
Alex Sirk is 6 for 6 on field goals this year, and he's kicked 7 straight dating back to last season. This would be a 32-yard attempt. The officials call timeout.
Princeton timeout.
Princeton calls timeout, okay. I don't think the Tigers would be thinking about going for it here. I'm not sure what this is. If it's a timeout.
We got a timeout, we got an ineligible, we got a timeout.
Got all kinds of things going on.
A plethora of signals. Most of them we didn't understand.
We understood the timeout.
Right, we got that part of it.
So we'll stick with that one.
You know, Lou, you and I were talking during the break between quarters and saying, you know, Brown came in with the gaudy record and the gaudy numbers. However, again, racked up against less than stellar competition. Certainly not to take anything away from any other team, but certainly some teams are better than others. And Brown did get a lot of their gaudy offensive numbers playing against probably not the best teams in the nation.
Yeah, Yale is off to a tough start in the Ivy League, and the other 2 teams, the Patriot League teams, Lafayette and Fordham, are probably at or near the bottom of the Patriot League as well. So you're right. And then, of course, Brown fans will argue with me and say, well, Lou, that might be true, but Princeton only beat Fordham 9-7, and we beat Fordham 42-14. So that's quite a difference.
Different day, different game.
All right, they set it at the 22. It'll be a 32-yard kick for Sirk, who's perfect this year in field goal attempts. The kick is up. It's good. He remains perfect in 1997. He drilled that one.
He's got a strong leg, and he uses that kind of karate style. What was that kid from Notre Dame a few years ago, that little kicker? And I think it was an Oriental fella, and he had that whip leg motion, almost did it like a karate move. And Sirk seems to have mimicked that a little bit, but he gets a lot of leg whip in there, strong leg. He cleared that by plenty. That would have been good from 45 easily.
He's a junior, 6'1", 180 out of Bettendorf, Iowa. For those of you who are not familiar with Ivy League football, watching Ivy League football, you'll hear a lot of different places from around the nation when we mention these kids. It's almost like doing an Army game or a Navy game. These kids come from all over the nation to play Ivy League football and to come to these great universities?
Well, you know, Lou, it's just so wonderful to be here. It's a great little town, province, little city, I should say, big town, little city, beautiful stadium, natural grass, great academics. Hey, this is what it's supposed to be about. It's wonderful.
Greg Norton will kick it off. Squibs it. It bounces all the way back inside the 15. Finally picked up by Morey, but he is crushed at the 17-yard line, and the Bears did not look good on that kickoff return.
No, I tell you, overall, the Bears from top to bottom are just not putting it together in any phase of the game. They've already had a punt blocked. They're having trouble handling kickoffs. They've had defensive lapses, missed tackles, and they're just really not executing on offense at all. They're just not playing well today at all. But plenty of time left to go in the second quarter. This game could still go either way, especially with a team that has the potential offensive explosive capabilities of Brown.
Bears come up with a first down and 10. Ball is marked at the 17-yard line. James Perry is the quarterback. He sends a man in motion, and trip receivers go out to the left. Throw over the middle. Morey makes the catch, but then he is spun down immediately by Mark Whaling, the defensive tackle. Tim Green also in on the play.
Tim Green actually was blitzing that time, Lou, and really put pressure on the quarterback, Perry. It was a good job for Perry to hang in there and get the completion. Good gain on first down. You'll take that any time. For 5 yards on first down is an excellent play.
Ball sits at the 22. Here's the handoff up the middle, and driving forward for a couple of yards, but not much, is Mike Wall. Mark Whaling again in on the tackle. It'll bring up a third down, 3rd and 3 coming up for the Bears.
So you got to be impressed with number 51, Mark Whaling. Again, not a big guy for the defensive line. It's 6 foot 225, but he's been in there. An excellent lacrosse player, so you know he's a good athlete. And he loves those aggressive sports. That's what you want out of your defensive lineman.
Trip receivers go to the left. One setback behind Perry, and he's straight back to throw. Quick drop, fires, catch made. That's a first down for the Bears. Gordon Nagmeni on the reception, the senior, 6 foot, 175 pounds.
Quick little slant pass, nothing fancy there, but when you got a quick receiver, that's very hard to defend. Very hard to defend. There's just a quick slant over the middle, and we got a completion. Well, it looks like we might have a flag down, though, Lou. You're talking to Princeton right now. Could go against Brown, nullifying a big first down.
Well, that would be a tough break for the Bears. Brown is off to their best start since 1987. That's the last time they were 3-0 at this point in the season. But Brown has not had a lot of success over the years. Brown, in fact, they've won only one Ivy League title. That was in 1976, and it is a penalty against the Bears. Illegal procedure wipes out the first down.
But I tell you, see, Lou, that's, again, it's a classic example of a team in disarray. They execute a good play, they get a key first down, and a penalty brings them down. New Jersey fans should be sound a little familiar. It sounds like some of the Giant teams we've seen over recent years, where they actually sometimes play very hard and then make stupid plays to nullify their hard play, and that's exactly what's happening here.
It is a 3rd down and 8 at the 19-yard line. Looking to throw. Perry throws. It's incomplete. He hit Nagmeni in the shoulder pads, and it bounced right out of there. That would have been a first down.
And again, that's why receivers coaches always teach you to catch the ball with your hands. Don't let it into your body, because that's exactly what happens. Good job by the offensive line. Lots of time for Perry. Put it on a frozen rope to Nagmeni, and he didn't make the catch because he let the ball go through his hands and bounce off his shoulder pads.
Tom Root in punt formation. Penalty flags fly.
Jim Salters, it looks like, number 54, jumped on Princeton. Still will not be enough for a first down, though.
And it is, no.
No, he was drawn offsides. It looked like he jumped on his own. I did not see the Brown player. I did not.
And some of the Brown fans now getting a little testy.
They've not played well, Lou. I can understand their displeasure. Again, these are young guys. It's not a pro game. You want to support your team. But quite frankly, Lou, they're just not playing well in any phase of the game right now.
Last year, Brown beat Princeton at Palmer Stadium 27-23. They had lost 8 straight to the Tigers previous to that. Here's the kick. It's a boomer. Damani Leach at the 40. He is brought down. A beautiful open field tackle by Alex quick spins. And he's done that several times here this afternoon.
He has played very well on special teams because we know Leach is one of the best punt returners in the country and has just not been able to get on track because of the good punt coverage.
Tigers have a 17-3 lead with 8:57 remaining here in the second quarter.
And you know what's been interesting, Lou, is that Princeton has not sat on the lead. You'd think they'd go much more conservative and just run the football, but they haven't. They've mixed it up well. They've thrown the ball on first down. A very, very well-conceived offensive game plan today up here in Providence.
Well, Princeton looking to make it 3 wins in a row. Last week they beat Holy Cross 21-7. And now McKelney swings it out. Gerardo makes the catch at the 40, and then he is banged down. Never quite got to the 40, actually. Hit out at the 39-yard line. And what looked like a promising play really picks up no yardage. Looks like Lewis Ames on the tackle for the Bears.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. That did look like a good play, and it really didn't get as much as it looked like it would have gotten, but I love the call, Lou. Again, Princeton not sitting on this lead, keeping the game wide open, moving the ball around, trying to keep Brown from ganging up on them inside. It's a very, very well-conceived game plan. Good job, Princeton.
Twin receivers go to the right side, split backs behind McKelney. It's a 2nd and 10 at the 39. Handoff to Damian Taylor, who slashes over right tackle, but not much there. Again, he was hit at the line of scrimmage and driven back. Rocky Parson came in on the tackle for the Bears.
I tell you, Parson, the strong safety, we've called his name a number of times. He's crowding the line of scrimmage and daring Princeton to throw the football right now. And he's been successful. I tell you, he's one of the few guys on Brown that's made consistent hits. A lot of missed tackles out there. The only guy really zeroing in right now and doing a good job on defense is Parson.
3rd down and 9 at the 39-yard line. Back to throw McKelney. Now in trouble, fires, catch made over the middle. Cannoli across the 40-yard line, and McKelney really took a shot. There's a flag down in the backfield.
Might get a late hit on the quarterback. Let's see. No, it's holding. Oh, no, it's going to bring it back. Great play, too. It's a shame. Obviously, for Princeton fans, it's great for the Brown fans because that was an extremely well-conceived play, but it's all going to come back all for naught on the holding, and it would have given them a key first down on 3rd and 9. Beautiful player. Again, what you do is you clear the zone. You had your wide receivers out, clear the zone, and then drag a guy underneath. In that particular case, it was Crowley. Well thrown ball by McKelney again, but maybe, again, you need a lot of time to complete a play like that. Maybe that's why Princeton was holding to give him that extra time.
Now it's 3rd and 20 for the Tigers. Twin receivers split out to the left side, and McKelney comes up under center. Play action, he rolls out left side, he throws, it is incomplete. Intended for Crowley up near the 45, but Brown holds, and now Princeton will have to punt.
Really good defense that time, particularly in the secondary. Pretty good offensive line play, giving McKelney plenty of time to throw the football, but none of the receivers were open, so he did the right thing, threw it out of bounds, let your defense play. And they've been playing well, why not?
Matt Evans.
Foolish. I'm sorry, Lou.
Matt Evans in punt formation. Campbell is back deep for Brown. It's a line drive kick, a rocket that goes back at the 20, bounces at the 15, picked up by Campbell. He looks to maneuver, now in trouble and brought down at the 13-yard line. An absolute bomb by Matt Evans.
Jim Salters on the open field tackle. I tell you, Princeton is just doing a great job of open field tackling today. You know, that's a big linebacker downfield. Those guys aren't supposed to do that. They like to mix it up in the middle where they're not exposed with all that grass around them. They like to feel those other bodies around them. They can just mix it up. But I tell you, Princeton's just breaking down beautifully in the open field and making some great hits on some quick returners.
6:59 left first half. Princeton 17 and Brown 3. Here's the flip to Wall, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped down. Mark Whaling again in on the tackle for the Tigers. This Princeton defense extremely difficult to run against.
You know, they only allow 1.6 yards per rush, and I tell you, they've got to be close to that average today, Lou. They're really tough, and they're not a big defense. Again, we keep calling Mark Whaling's name out, number 51. He's only 225 pounds in the middle of that line.
2nd down and 8. Perry looks to throw. Hit as he released, and it is incomplete. Intended for Nangmeni. There was double coverage offered by Brett Marshall and Damani Leach.
56, Dan Swingos that time, applying the pressure from his right defensive end position. Again, causing the quarterback, Perry, to throw just before he wanted to. You got to remember, sometimes you need the time to allow those receivers to clear certain areas. If you don't get it and you have to throw it before that time, the entire timing of the play is messed up, therefore unsuccessful.
3rd down and 8 for Brown.
This is a big play, Lo.
Yeah, at their own 13-yard line with twin receivers. To the right, man goes in motion, and Perry looks to throw. He's in trouble, deep trouble, lets it fly. It is intercepted. Picked off at the 12-yard line by Mark Whaling, but the play really was by Brett Marshall, who came in again on a safety blitz. An ill-advised pass by Perry.
I tell you, Princeton is just overwhelming Brown right now, both physically and in preparedness. What a great defensive call. Free safety comes on the blitz off the left side, completely untouched. As Perry is going down, he tosses an ill-fated pass up, and that guy, our guy again, number 51, Mark Whaling with the interception. Princeton with a chance to possibly put this game on ice early.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. Handoff goes up the middle to Gerardo. It's a pickup of about 2 to the 10-yard line. It'll bring up a 2nd and 8. Jameen Agray on the tackle for Brown. Now the Bears again need to hold Princeton to a field goal attempt. They did it a little bit earlier, but a touchdown here makes it 24-3 at halftime.
Oh, I tell you, it's certainly a lot of time left, but again, when you're playing against the 3rd-ranked defense and you go down by 21 points, that's going to be tough.
McKelney straight back to throw. Looking, fires, end zone, incomplete. Intended for, looked like Wendler, Philip Wendler, the junior wide receiver out of Kent, Washington.
Pretty good coverage that time by Pitt, but a nice throw by McKelney. Again, putting it in the position where only the offensive receiver can catch it, or it will be incomplete. That shows good senior leadership. Timeout, Princeton.
And the Tigers want to talk it over. Leading by the score of 17-3 with 5:32 remaining. This telecast of Princeton University football is sponsored in part by McCaffrey Supermarkets. McCaffrey's, when they say fresh baked, they mean fresh. Baked from scratch by their talented professional bakers and pastry chefs right in their stores. McCaffrey Supermarkets offer a wide variety of gourmet cakes, pastries, and breads. McCaffrey's, a supermarket experience in Princeton, West Windsor, and Yardley, Pennsylvania.
None in Providence, though. Huh?
None in Providence, unfortunately. Yeah. Sure does. Well, Princeton has a 17-3 lead. The Tigers playing outstanding football. And how good has the Princeton defense been in this first half? Well, Brown came in here the #1 offense ranked in Division I AA, 44 points a game, 521 yards per game. But they have just 3 points here in the second quarter.
Lou, they just haven't established anything. There's no consistency in their offense at all. No running game, no consistent passing game at all. Princeton is really confusing them, showing them a lot of different defensive looks and throwing in a lot of blitzes.
3rd down and 8 for the Tigers at the 10-yard line. McKelney out of the shotgun, rolls to the left side. Now he sets up, throws, touchdown. Cannoli on the touchdown reception. A bullet pass by McKelney. And right now, the Tigers are putting the hammer down.
Now I can really do it, Lou. Holy cannoli. I finally got it in because it was a touchdown play. But again, beautiful execution. An excellent call, beautiful execution. The rollout bought him enough time so that Canoli could work the defensive back, work back to the middle, and then again, a very well-thrown ball. Princeton looks excellent.
Cirk in to kick the extra point. He can give the Tigers a 24-3 lead. The snap is good. The kick is up. It's good. 5:27 remaining here in the second quarter, and this crowd here in Providence is stunned.
And rightly so. I tell you, Princeton right now is just putting, as we used to say, putting the wood to Brown right now. Brown is just not even in this ball game in any phase. They're having trouble with their special teams. Offensively, they show nothing, and defensively, they look confused. They're missing tackles. They don't look well prepared to play this football game. For what reason? I don't know. Beautiful day, decent-sized crowd. They're in their home field. Who knows? But that's what college football is, Lou. And that's, you know, certainly on the college and high school level, you and I talk about it. You know, one week one team is just getting absolutely creamed, and the next week they come back to beat a better team. So you never know. That's why it's fun.
Well, for those of you who keep track of such things, Brown came in as a 9-point favorite in this game.
And I am very impressed with McKelney. And the coach, Tasha's, knew he had tremendous potential. He's a big kid at 6'2", 205. They were waiting for him to come around. Well, today's the day he's arrived.
Nortman will kick it off for the Tigers. Brown needs a big play. The Bears need something to get the spark. The kick goes to Wall. He's at the 5, to the 10, hands to Morey. Nope. Yep, on the reverse.
Here's your big play, Lou.
Morey does come up the sideline across the 35. Wall did a terrific job there of deception. He faked me out. First, I thought he faked the handoff and kept the ball himself.
Now, that was good execution. One of the better plays they've executed so far today. But, Lou, I agree with you completely. This is a huge series for Brown right now. They have got to drive the football. They've got to show something offensively. They got to pump a little life into their team and into the crowd. I tell you, playing in front of your home field, on your home field in front of your home fans, and you look over to the sidelines and it looks like an oil painting because there's just nothing to cheer about. It's just not the way to get it done. They've got to get something going here, get the crowd back into the game, and remember, that generates excitement. Winning and success breeds more winning and more success. So you got to have it here. I tell you, otherwise Brown is going to have a long afternoon against the nation's third-rated defense.
There's a Princeton Tiger player down on the field across the way, and I have to apologize, folks. I can't see the number. It looks like number 17. Well, that would be Ben Mullenix, but a kicker. That can't be right. It is a number 17, but on our roster, Ben Mullenix, the place kicker, is number 17. That would not be Ben in that situation. So
now, generally, you don't want your kickers out there, even your first-line kickers, much like your backup kickers, making tackles on the kickoff team.
First down and 10 for Brown. They're at the 38-yard line. Here's the flip to Powell. He's trying to get outside, but he's not going to get there. A terrific defensive play. Griff King came over.
I'll tell you, this is the kind of game that Griff King can really excel in now, as Brown, little by little, will have to go more and more to the pass. He's the leading sacker for Princeton, a big guy at 6'7", 260. Perfect size for a defensive end.
Perry, play action. He's throwing long to Morey. He makes the catch. Splits two defenders at the 25-yard line. And that's a big play for the Bears.
They needed that desperately. And Damani Leach on the coverage, that one-on-one we were talking about. All-American against All-American, and Morey flat out won that battle. Leach had decent position, but Morey outfought him for the football. He wanted it more. Big play, Brown. Very big play.
The Bears have a 1st and 10 at the Princeton 25-yard line. They trail 24-3 with 4:29 remaining here in the second quarter. Perry hands it off to Powell. He's around the right end, gets a block, makes a move, spins inside the 10. That's another first down for the Bears.
Nice play. I was really isolating that time on Damani Leach, and Morey to see what was going on there. Real one-on-one thing, and it looks like Leach is going to follow Morey all over the field. What happened that time, as he was following Morey, the sweep came around, tried to get back into play, could only get a piece of the tackle. So again, a successful play for Brown.
Princeton calls a timeout. They want to talk it over defensively. Jim Salters was banged up on that play, so they attend to him. Well, Steve Tasches immediately calls the timeout. He doesn't like what he's seen in the last two defensive plays.
No question. Now, see, again, this is what a coach has to look for, because a team has a tendency to let down sometimes. They're playing so well. They're up 24-3, less than 5 minutes left to go in the half. You start feeling pretty good about yourself, you know what I mean? And say, well, maybe we don't have to play quite as hard. Well, folks, you got to play 60 minutes from end to end, and I'm sure that's what Coach Tasches is telling them right now. This is a big stop. If we can hold them here, get the ball back with less than 4 minutes and kill the clock and go in with a big lead at halftime, the game takes on a whole different complexion.
Well, Brown is in great position here. They have a first down, really a first down and goal, because the ball is right inside the 10-yard line.
First and goal for Brown.
Trip receivers go to the left side. Mike Wall, the running back, stands back there with the quarterback, Perry. Now he goes in motion. Perry in the shotgun, looks to throw. Steps up, fires incomplete. He was looking to throw the little hook pattern, if you will, to Wall, but he threw behind him.
Bad timing. Wall cut in. Leach, Perry threw outside. Just a missed timing thing. And that's what we've been talking about. Brown is misfiring. They don't seem well coordinated on a lot of their plays. Very strange, especially at this point in the season. It's not the first game.
Second down, goal. Just inside the 10-yard line. Man goes in motion. Perry under center, gives to Powell up the middle, and he is dragged down. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage and dropped. And the first Tiger to get in there,
95.
David Ferrara.
You told me about him. You said he's a very physical guy. Again, decent size for a defensive lineman at 240, but certainly not huge. So he has to be aggressive.
No gain on the play. It's now third and goal at the 10-yard line. Big play for Brown. Perry looks, still looking, runs out of the pocket to the left side. At the 10, he fires, end zone. It is caught, but out of the end zone. A tremendous one-handed catch by Albert Larson. And he came down on his shoulder after that catch. A dangerous play, and hopefully he's not seriously injured.
Tremendous effort by that young guy. Tremendous. Trying to keep his feet in bounds right at the end line, right at the back of the end zone. Did a great job, but just couldn't come down with it in bounds, and he's paid the price as he's banged up. Also a good job by Perry to buy himself time on the rollout, and again, throwing the ball in the perfect position where it's either caught for a touchdown or it's an incomplete pass.
And now the attention, of course, is focused entirely on Albert Larson, number 83, who is still down behind the end zone.
Boy, he came down hard. And I tell you, that grass is beautiful down there. This is not an AstroTurf field. This is a natural turf field. But boy, when you go up that high and you land that hard, I don't care if you're on a foam mattress, it's going to hurt.
Absolutely. Well, he did. He landed on his shoulder. He went up full extension and came down on the shoulder. He's sitting up, which is a good sign. There is a look at Sean Morey, the All-American. 460 yards receiving. Great stat. And by the way, Larson is okay. They're going to help him off the field. Morey came in with 460 yards receiving. The entire Princeton team had 461 coming in.
It's just unbelievable. He's got gaudy statistics, 21 yards per catch, and he's made some great plays. One long catch on this particular drive where he's just aggressive. He was well covered by Damani Leach, but he went up for the ball, and so you see he's a full package kind of receiver. He's got good quickness, but good size and strength, goes after the football. That's what you want out of your wide receivers.
Well, Tom Root is in to kick a 27-yard field goal. Not exactly what the Bears were looking for, but they have to take the points when they can get them, trailing 24-3. The snap is good. The kick is up. It is good. So a 27-yard field goal by Tom Root. And with 3:29 remaining here in the second quarter, it's now Princeton 24 and Brown 6.
Interesting, Lou, and just kind of polite applause from the crowd because they wanted the touchdown. They know it. They know their team is in a dogfight right now. They know they're down big against a good defensive team. That was a really key series. Luckily for Brown, they got some points out of it, but certainly the crowd wanted 7, as I'm sure Coach Whipple would rather have had 7. Big difference between 24-6 and 24-10. And it's not just a numbers thing, it's a momentum thing, it's a head thing.
Well, Brown now will kick off. The Tigers have some time left with 3 minutes and 29 seconds.
Now, Princeton can't get too loose here, Lou. They've got to protect the football. They want to sit on it too much. You know, you got to keep doing the things that brought you here. You know, they've got a 24-6 lead because they mixed it up. They played wide open football. Certainly don't want to throw it all over the lot and get careless, but you don't want to sit on it that much either because there's still plenty of time left.
Damani Leach is back deep. It's a high kick that Leach will field at the goal line. He's at the 5 to the 10, the 15, the 20, and then he's nailed at about the 22-yard line. Lewis Ames down on the tackle for the Bears, and Princeton will put it in play at that point.
Nice open field tackle again by the Brown player Ames against a very dangerous kick returner.
Damani Leach came in 7th in the nation in kickoff returns, averaging 30.8 yards per return. That's higher than the all-time Princeton average. Homer Smith in 1953.
The Homer Smith?
You remember Homer?
I sure do.
28.8 yards per return. Here's the pitch to, looks like Gerardo.
Gerardo, the carry for Princeton.
And a pretty good pickup on first down for the Tigers.
Just a quick toss play and a good pickup on first down. I'm telling you, any coach will take 2nd and 5 all day, especially with the score like this and the clock running. I'll tell you, that's a great first down play.
Just under 3 minutes left here in the second quarter. Princeton in control here in this first half. The Tigers impressively up 24-6. Split backs behind McKelney with receivers split left and right. A long snap count. He's straight back to throw. Now he lets it fly. Has a receiver. Incomplete, though, at the 50-yard line. Just a little too far. Intended for Navarez. Ken Navarez, backup wide receiver.
You know, good call that time, Lou. They had a blitz on, talking about Brown, number 37, the strong safety coming on a blitz, Rocky Parson. And Princeton had a good call against it, but the pressure did not allow McKelney to step up and really get the ball to the receiver. That's the gamble with blitzing. If you don't get there, you're going to get burnt. That time they got there just in enough time.
3rd down and 5. McKelney in the shotgun. He looks, throws, has a receiver, catch made. It looks like Navarez again. Number 80, he makes the catch cutting across, and that should be enough for a first down. It is a Princeton first down.
I tell you, that was a very impressive catch by Navarez. Really nice. Did you see what he did with his hands? How he positioned his hands before the ball came? It's the key. You can't go anywhere without the ball. You got to catch it first, which means you got to break down, get yourself in position, get your hands ready, make that catch. First down, new series of downs for Princeton.
Here's the pitch. Gerardo hit behind the line of scrimmage and dropped. Rocky Parson came up and filled from his strong safety slot.
I'll tell you, this kid Parson is playing a strong game. He's been blitzing and doing a good job with that and making a ton of tackles at the line of scrimmage. He'll sleep good tonight and be plenty sore tomorrow.
You're right.
Been there, done that.
A minute 45 remaining here in the second quarter. It's 2nd and 10 at the 34-yard line. Princeton leads 24-6 as we approach halftime. Again, the Tigers shift out of the eye, and they'll keep it on the ground. Gerardo up the middle. He scoots through and gets up near the 40-yard line.
Tell you, another great block in the backfield by Mike Clifford. I tell you, it's the key these days. The fullback is such a key position. It becomes more and more versatile all the time. Yes, you must block, but these days you have to run a little bit, and you've got to catch the ball out of the backfield. Mike Clifford from Princeton does all of those things well. That's one of the reasons why they're playing well today.
3rd down and 4 at the 40. Less than a minute left in the first half. Tigers shifting back into the eye. McKelney looks to throw. Timing pattern, and it is incomplete. A very difficult play intended for Philip Wendler, and the coverage offered by Alex Pitts, who knocked it away.
Catchable ball, though. The ball was there. You know, you got to suck it in. I remember the great tight end from the Detroit Lions many years ago, Charlie Sanders, and his philosophy about catching a ball in a situation like that is going to hit you anyway, so you might as well come down with it and have something to show for all your aches and pains.
Evans to punt, another booming kick. Taken at the 15-yard line by Campbell, hit and dropped. Tigers playing very well on special teams. Getting down for Princeton looked to be Todd Helfrich, number 91.
Again, another good open field tackle. You got to be impressed with Princeton, and particularly with their open field tackling. Brown's got a lot of quick receivers, a lot of quick return men, and they're just not getting started at all because Princeton's doing a great job on kick coverage.
Boy, Evans really can kick the football. He unleashes some rockets.
He's kicked well today. He has.
1st down 10. Split backs behind Perry. And Brown keeps it on the ground. So obviously Mark Whipple is content to go into the half. Dan Swingo's on the tackle. 24-6 with a running play on 1st down and 20 seconds and counting down here in the 2nd quarter.
Well, I think Brown's looking to regroup, and it's probably a pretty good move. You don't do anything foolish right now. You really need to regroup.
Penalty flag. Handoff. Again goes off tackle as Evo Smith carries, but again there is a flag on the play.
You know, you might have had movement on the Brown offensive line. I think they may have gone, no, looks like may go the other way. Now Brown looks like they're celebrating. Offsides defense. See, I saw movement, I just know it was moving. Somebody was moving, Lo.
The officials saw it, though.
Well, they were a hell of a lot closer than we are. What are we about 3/4 of a mile away from the field?
Right. Well, they will mark it off, I would think, here against the Tigers. It is offside against Princeton. No, Brown will take the play and will take the first down, so they decline it.
6 seconds.
6 seconds. Let's see if Brown elects to throw it downfield. They do have a receiver split out to the right side.
I put it up here, Lou, and, you know, they really can't hurt you. Now it's going to be a draw play.
No, they'll run it. Wall across the 40, across the 45, and that'll do it. That's the last play of the first half. A very impressive first half of football for the Princeton Tigers. The Road Warriors of 1997 have to be satisfied with a 24-6 lead at the half.
Lou, they have played very well in all phases of the game. They've kicked the ball well. They've protected on kick returns and punt returns. Extremely well-conceived offensive game plan. And defensively, we know they had a good defensive team, and they have not disappointed. But even beyond that, even their defensive game plan has just been excellent, really keeping Brown off balance.
All right, we're at the half here at Brown Stadium here in Providence. The score is Princeton 24 and Brown 6. Back with second half action in just a few moments.
Hang on, Jimmy! Help me! Come on, give me on the head! I can't! I'm slipping! Hey! Jimmy! What? You ever get the feeling other shows are filming the same scenes we are? No! Why do you say that? Hang on! Hang on! Tommy, hang on!
Ready for something different? USA Network, the cure for the common show.
Welcome Welcome back to Brown Stadium here in Providence on a picture-perfect autumn afternoon for college football. Princeton leading Brown 24-6 as we begin the third quarter. The opening kickoff of the second half, Damani Leach spins it out towards the 25, and Princeton will put it in play at that point. All Tigers in the first half, a very impressive first half of football.
A very well-conceived game plan by Princeton on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Excellent on defense, putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, Perry, for Brown, not letting him set up and make the big play, and offensively mixing it up well between run and pass. They look good.
Lou Brogno along with Frank Lobono. Glad you could join us for RCN's coverage of Princeton Tiger football. Tigers have a first down and 10. Harry McKelney rolls out, fires, catch made by Cannoli, who comes back to the football and then is tackled at the 35-yard line. That should be enough for a Tiger first down.
Lou, you hit the nail right on the head. Great job by Cannoli to come back to the football, and you're taught to do that. Quarterback rolls. You got to find the soft spot. That defensive back is right on him. You just can't stand there, because then you're going to wear the defensive back like a cheap suit. Move to the football. Move to your quarterback. Let him get it to you. Boy, again, another well-conceived play by Princeton.
First and 10 for the Tigers. They're at their own 36-yard line, split backs behind McKelney. And he drops back, quick drop, throws incomplete at the 40-yard line, intended for Wendler, Philip Wendler, the wide receiver. That one thrown behind him.
Yeah, thrown a little bit behind, not well executed by McKelney that time. Interestingly, though, you know, if you look at the average gain per play, Brown 4.8, Princeton only 3.5. So even though the Tigers are dominating on the scoreboard, they're not necessarily dominating statistically. But after this play, I want to give you one statistic that I think is very telling.
Second down, 10, handoff to Taylor. Damian Taylor crashes over right tackle. He's nailed at the 39-yard line. Pickup of about 3 on the play. Joe Karkutsky on the tackle.
Though I was looking at the halftime statistics, and one thing that really jumped out at me was the penalty situation. One penalty for 13 yards for Princeton, i.e. almost errorless football. Brown, 5 for 32. Now, the 32 yards does not sound like a lot of yardage, but they came at key moments, erasing big plays.
Third down and about 6 for Princeton at their own 39. Split backs, McKelney looks to throw, fires, incomplete, actually almost intercepted. He threw into a crowd, intended for Crowley, and it almost was picked by Rocky Parson back deep at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, Matt Kraskouskas had a hand in there also. Good linebacker play that time, as the linebacker got in the passing zone and broke that play up as well. Good defense, and a very important defensive stand for Brown to open the second half.
Matt Evans is in to punt it away. Good snap and another rocket kick. He drives Campbell back at the 15-yard line to the 20, makes a nice juke move and gets across the 25-yard line. So Brown will put it in play at their own 27-yard line. The Brown Bears looking to go 4-0 for the first time since 1932 if they can win here today, but they'll have to stage a comeback to come back, they'll have to stage quite a dramatic comeback to pull out a victory here today.
Exactly, hit the nail right on the head, Lou. It would have to be a dramatic comeback, especially because they're playing against a very strong defense, one that's ranked 3rd nationally. Not easily done.
First down, 10 for Brown. The Bears are at their own 27. Split backs behind quarterback James Perry. He looks to throw, steps up, lets it fly. Receiver wide open. Nagmeni, and he's down around the 40-yard line. Well, that time, Gordon Nagmeni got in between the defenders, and Perry found him.
Little stop-and-go move. Great job by Perry. Little pump fake. Froze the quarterback. Then Nagmeni made the great move down the field. Safety couldn't get over in time. Excellent execution by Brown. Exactly what they needed to start the second half.
The Bears with a first down and 10 at the Princeton 40-yard line. James Perry flips it outside, trying to find a hole with Powell, but there's nothing there. He's hammered at the line of scrimmage. Coming in to make the play, David Ferrara, the sophomore defensive tackle.
I'll tell you another nice play that time by number 35, though, Jamie Toddings. Again, didn't make the play, per se, didn't make the tackle, as I should say, but made the play by forcing the action in Brown's backfield.
No pickup on the play, and it is a 2nd and 10 for the Bears. Perry looks to throw. He fires over the middle. Powell makes the catch, breaks one tackle, and spins across the 25. Mike Powell on the reception and a nice run after the catch.
Showed good acceleration that time. Tim Green, the linebacker, the leading tackler for Princeton, had a beat on him with the slant. Just ran right out of that tackle with using sheer quickness.
Now a 1st and 10 for Brown. At the 25-yard line, the Bears are in business. Here's the pitch to Powell, looking to get outside, but again, the Tigers string it out, and it is so hard to run against that Princeton defense. Tom Ludwig made the play.
I tell you, that strong safety, number 31, Tom Ludwig, again, making the play without making the tackle because he's forcing the issue in the backfield. They're not allowing Brown, talking about Princeton defensively, they're not allowing Brown to establish anything. They are forcing the action defensively.
2nd down and 10 at the 25-yard line. 12 minutes, 12 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Princeton with a 24-6 lead. Here's the pitch to Powell. Again, not much there. Brown unable to pick up yardage on the ground. Tim Green made the play for the Tigers. Green and Ludwig actually combining on the play.
And 35, Jamie Toddings, again, the linebacker. Again, another situation. He may not have made the tackle, but he helped to make the play because they're forcing Brown to make moves before they're ready to make those moves.
They picked up 2 on the play. It's 3rd and 8 at the 23. Perry looks to throw. Now wings it out to Mike Wall, who makes the catch, but he is well short of 1st down yardage. Mark Whaling made the tackle. It brings up a 4th down and 5 for the Bears, and they'll have to bring in the field goal unit.
A great hustling play again by number 51, Mark Whaling. People ask, how do you play defensive tackle in major college football at 6 foot, 225 pounds? By hustling, 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 and that's exactly what Mark Whaling does. Fake.
Brown lined up for the field goal, but now they come up under center. Flags fly. Anthony Ames, who is the backup quarterback, and the holder came up under center. And as the flag flies, Princeton called timeout. Maybe it wasn't a penalty. I don't know.
No, actually, you know, when they started to fake it, a great play by number 54, the backup linebacker, Jim Salters, immediately called for timeout when he knew they were out of positions. I tell you, for a backup linebacker and only a junior, that is a really, really heady play. Again, you got to be impressed with the way Princeton is coached. It's the first game that I've gotten to see Princeton live, and I'm very, very impressed, obviously, with their defense. Their offense has gelled nicely, but I'm most impressed with their game plan and the fact that they are so well coached, Lou. They're doing all the little things that are necessary to win this football game.
4th down and 5. And the Bears come up. This time they won't fake it. They're just simply going for it. James Perry is in the shotgun. He's looking. He fires. Catch made by Morey. Sean Morey slides and makes the catch at the 7.
The challenge was issued by Damani Leach. It was single coverage all the way. Leach moved up into the bump and run position. Morey did the old swim move to get by him, found the soft spot after that, and then Perry delivered the ball beautifully. Huge play for Brown. Huge. Well executed. Really well executed by Brown.
Now the Bears have a 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. Brown looks like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Much more aggressive, and I tell you, Morey was just beautiful the way he left Leach. It was just a wonderful move. That was all individual effort.
I'm sure Mark Whipple had some words for the Bears at halftime. Perry looks to throw. 1st and goal, almost intercepted. Now a penalty flag flies. It was intended for Morey. Damani Leach almost picked it, but they may have gotten Leach for interference. Let's see.
That's going to be a tough call, Lou.
Holding
a call.
Defensive holding.
Unfortunately today, Lou, we don't have the benefit of the instant replay to check that out, but both players really jockeying for position. Tough one for a referee to call one way or the other. But in general, the referees tend to side with the offense in a situation like that.
They mark it off half the distance to the goal. And the ball is just shy of the 3-yard line. It's first and goal for the Bears. Wall goes in motion. Purry sprints out. Looking, holds it, throws it up for grabs. He just threw it away, I think.
He did. Absolutely excellent coverage in the end zone by the Princeton Tigers. Now, it's interesting here that Brown continues to throw the football. Remember, Princeton only gives up 1.6 yards per rush. They are very tough to run against. So it's interesting that Brown has virtually abandoned their running game at this point.
Especially inside the 10-yard line. Here's the gift to Powell. Hit. He will not get in. Jamie Toddings and Jim Salters in on the play. And also Mark Whaling on the bottom of that pile. Pickup of a yard. I'm sorry, Frank.
No, go ahead, Lou. I'm sorry. But we're seeing just a pickup of a yard. Princeton extremely tough to run against, especially on the goal line. Big play right here.
3rd and goal at the 2. The give to Powell. He's not going to get there. Jim Salters made the play.
That backup linebacker that we talked about who just made the heady play a couple of plays before when he called timeout on the fake field goal, steps up, again makes the hit in the backfield, actually throws him for a yard loss.
This could be the play of the game. 4th down and goal at the 1-yard line.
Let's see if the crowd gets into it. They're trying to cheer their team on right now. They're on their feet. It's a big play, Lou.
Here's the pitch to Powell. He's hit, and he did not get there. Princeton, with great penetration, Griff King and Jim Salters combining on the tackle.
An absolutely outstanding play by the Princeton defense. Lou, everything on the goal line is penetration. Who can get lowest, who can get into the backfield first. If the defense does that, it's an unsuccessful offensive play. Obviously, the converse is true. If the offensive line fires out, moves the defense off the ball, you've only got a yard to go. Great defense by Princeton. Great play.
Griff King with that penetration. Now Princeton has a 1st down and 10 at their own 1-yard line. I formation for the Tigers, and they just try to sneak it out of there. Now Kelly goes right up the middle. They actually marked the ball at the 2. They picked up a yard to the 3. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Well, Lou, that was a huge defensive stand because, again, you're not only talking about the point differential. Football is a game played with emotion, and players must play with emotion. If you deflate them after a good-looking drive to open the first half and they come away with nothing, there's definitely a psychological factor that has to be dealt with.
2nd and 9 at the 3. The give up the middle, and the Bears play it well defensively. Maybe pick up 2 yards or so. Looked like Jerry Gerardo on the carry for the Tigers. So they do get to the 5. It's 3rd and 7.
But interestingly, the Brown defense moving before the snap, again appearing somewhat confused. The play action pass here might be very effective.
I formation for the Tigers, 3rd and 7 at the 5-yard line. McKelney flips to Gerardo. He turns it in across the 10, up near the 12. That's close to the 1st down. They may have to measure. We'll see where they get the spot.
It's very close. He might be just short, but it's really just too difficult to tell up from here, Lou. I think we're going to have a measurement.
Gerardo with a nice run. He got through the hole and dove forward close to that 1st down. Let's see the measurement.
Going to be close, Lou. Just short.
Tigers are about a half a yard shy, and of course they'll punt in this situation. Matt Evans comes in to kick.
Well, you got to be impressed with this left-footed kicker. Man, oh man, he kicks him high when he needs to, and he kicks him deep when he needs to. He is an outstanding punter.
Stephen Campbell goes back deep for Brown. The Bears figure to get great field position out of this exchange.
I think that's probably why they decided to go for the touchdown on 4th down, Lou, figuring that if their defense could hold, they would certainly have another opportunity with good field position. That's exactly what happened. But they didn't do it by much, only by about a foot.
Evans stands in the end zone. Good snap. End-over-end kick, not one of Evans' better punts. Campbell picks it up at the 45. He's hit across the 40, hit hard. But Brown has great field position. They are at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, one of the poorer kicks that he's made today when he really needed it. So Brown is set up again with good field position. Now here is a situation you might want to go with the jugular. You got your All-American candidate wide receiver Sean Morey out there. You know, defense been on the field quite a bit in the early part of the second half. Let's see if they take advantage of it.
Perry back to throw. Rolls out right side, fires, catch made. Nagmeni across the 30 to the 27.
Great catch by Nagmeni. Again, using his hands. The ball was perfectly positioned for either the receiver to catch it or for the ball to go out of bounds. That's excellent execution between Perry and Nagmeni.
7 minutes, 38 seconds left in the third. Princeton 24 and Brown 6, but the Bears have a first down at the Princeton 27. Here's Wall, and he's tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Excellent defensive play. Looked like Jamie Toddings, but it was Toddings on the play.
35, that outside linebacker, Toddings, again, a key play. Good move by the fullback, Mike Wall. The play was designed to go inside. There was no hole there. Bounced it outside. Toddings showed his quickness to take him down after a short gain. Could have been bigger.
Perry drops straight back. Now he's in trouble. Big Griff King is on his case. He throws end zone. Incomplete. Mark Whaling and Griff King. Boy, Perry looked up and he saw very little except for Griff King. Griff King covers a lot of ground when he's standing in front of you.
Well, at 6'7", 260, those are the kind of guys they say blot out the sun if you got the right angle. Sometimes you see the shadow, Lou, before you see them. And for a guy of my size, 5'10", that's plenty for me.
King with a good play to force Perry out of the pocket. Now Brown has a third down and 7. Ball sits at the 24-yard line. Princeton shows blitz and they run the football. Trying to get outside is Azebo Smith, but he's short. First down yardage.
You know, bad move that time by Smith, Lou. Again, even though we got positive yards, he forced the play to the outside when the hole really was to the inside. If he would have just planted his right foot, cut it back against the grain, I think he could have headed right for that goalpost and had even more yardage than what he gained on that. Again, a positive play, got positive yardage, but he may have scored if he cut just once in the other direction. 4th and 2, and Brown will once again go, disdaining the field goal opportunity. Here's Perry looking to throw. Now he rolls out, left side, lets it fly, nearly intercepted, and Griff King, again, the man that forced the play. He smashed the quarterback, James Perry. Well, he's Princeton's pass rushing specialist. He leads them in sacks. Again, we've mentioned his great size at defensive end, 6'7", 260. But that time, I think Perry missed a wide open receiver, and number 4, Gordon Nagmeni, was wide open over the middle. But that's easier for us to say up here in the booth. We don't have somebody 6'7" in our face obstructing our vision, and I'm sure that's what caused that incompletion.
Well, Princeton comes up big again on defense with 6:49 now remaining in the third quarter. The Tigers hold on to their 24-6 lead. Twin receivers to the right side, and Princeton had early movement. This will back the Tigers up.
They just never got set. They try to force the issue. They're going with the virtual no-huddle offense, but you still must be set for 1 full second before the play can begin.
Ball is marched back to the 17, so it'll be 1st and 15 for the Tigers.
You know, Princeton will look to control the football again. And one of the things that they've done here with their 2 big 4th down stops, Lou, is they've taken the crowd completely out of the game. What good is a home field advantage if your home crowd is not in the game?
Split backs behind McKelney. Fakes the handoff to Gerardo. Rolls out, fires, incomplete, broken up beautifully by Parsons. Rocky Parsons with an outstanding play.
He's had a great game, I tell you. We haven't called too many of the Brown defenders' names on a regular basis, but Rocky Parsons not only supports the run well, but he also defends well, and that's evidenced by his 4 interceptions on the year so far. An outstanding overall defensive player, playing a good game today.
Second down, 15 for the Tigers at the 17-yard line. Split backs into Kelney. Does hand the ball off to Gerardo. He breaks a tackle and twists up near the 19-yard line. A pickup of only 2. Well, actually, he picked up much more. I'm looking at the original line of scrimmage, but it is 3rd down and 8.
And again, you know why it was deceptive, Lou? Not only that for the yard marker, but it was so much further down the field before the Brown defenders actually converged on Gerardo that it looked like a shorter gain than it really was, because the Princeton offensive line did such a great job of driving Brown off the ball.
3rd down and 8. McKelney looks to throw. Straight back this time. And he throws. Has a receiver. What a hit. A punishing hit. Matt Kraskuskas, he laid one on that time.
Well, that's what you want out of your linebackers. Boy, oh boy, they have to own that area. You have to let any receiver know that if you're going to catch the ball within that 10-yard range of the line of scrimmage and in the middle of the field, that if you're a linebacker, as soon as you get him down and say, I don't think so, son, don't do it again.
Matt Evans will kick. He stands at the 10-yard line. Campbell is back at his 35. It's a good snap. A line drive kick, another booming kick by Evans. Campbell at the 25, 30, breaks one tackle and gets across the 30 up to the 33-yard line. Looked like Salters down on the tackle. What a game for Jim Salters.
Well, I tell you, he can't, you know, he's a backup linebacker, junior, that gets lots of playing time. But boy, after this performance, I'll tell you, Princeton's got a lot of depth at their linebacking core. Their linebackers have played extremely well.
The Bears will have a 1st down and 10 at the 33.
You know, Lou, every series becomes important now for Brown from now through the rest of the game. They've got to do something.
They trail 24-6. Fumble on the snap. A mad scramble. Princeton says they got it. Let's see what the call is.
I heard a whistle, though, Lou. I think they're going to blow it down, and I think again the officials jumped on the call too early. I think that should have been a fumble recovered by Princeton. I think they blew that whistle a little too early, and they're going to call it a dead ball.
David Ferrara came out of there with the football, and he said, "What gives? I've got the ball." The officials say no. Here's the call. Legal procedure against Brown. They blew the whistle before the snap.
Exactly. That's what I heard, a whistle, Lou, and that's why I thought it might have been a dead play, but I did not notice the illegal procedure. I thought they were just going to call it a down ball, but obviously there was no play, so therefore there cannot be a penalty when there was no official play.
Also in the third, in the Browns, Dartmouth 24-47.
This will be a 5-yard mark-off against the Bears.
They just gave the Dartmouth score, and they're winning 24-7 over Cornell. Dartmouth, the Ivy League leader right now. And obviously, if Brown can't pull this game out, they fall even further behind the leader.
Yeah, Dartmouth, tough club, picked by many to win the Ivy this year. And, of course, the Big Green with the longest winning streak in Division I AA in the nation. Princeton will see Dartmouth, of course, as they see every Ivy League team, but not until the end of November in Hanover.
I know it's
bring your long johns if you go into that one.
I know, Lou, it's your favorite spot to be in late November. What was it, snowing the last time you were up there?
But that game could be a key game.
I tell you, if Princeton continues to play the way they played today, the rest of the way, that will be a key game. Princeton has been very impressive here today. And again, we've heard a lot about their defense. You prepped me well coming in and said very strong defensively, a little shaky offensively, has the potential to come together. But when that's going to happen, no one seems to know. Well, it happened today.
First half, the Tigers exploded for 24 points. It's a 1st and 15 for Brown. Princeton shows blitz. Tim Green runs up, but now Perry looks to throw. Fires. Morey made the catch. Looked like Sean Morey coming across the middle of the line of scrimmage, but Jamie Toddings would have no part of that.
Toddings, again, we've called his name quite a bit. Number 35, the outside linebacker, reading and reacting well. Good-sized kid for an outside linebacker at 6'3" and 210. Usually that means they're pretty rangy, and he has shown exactly that.
2nd down and 17. Perry lets it fly for Campbell, and Damani Leach with a spectacular interception at the 35. What a pickoff.
There's the All-American. That's what we were waiting for. At least that's what the Princeton fans were waiting for. Certainly your All-American cornerback, perfect position, then aggressively attacks the football at its highest point. Folks, coaches will teach you that from Pop Warner right up. If you're a defensive back, diagnose the play, read the play, then attack the ball and get it at its highest point. Picture perfect. That's what makes an All-American.
Damani Leach with the interception. That's his first interception of the season, simply because opposing teams don't like to throw in his area.
Exactly.
But he does get that pick off. Here's the fake handoff. McKelney throws on play action, double coverage, and they give it right back. It's picked off downfield by Parson, his 5th interception of the season, and he's across the 40-yard line and up near the 44. There's a penalty flag back deep where the interception occurred.
I think they're going to allow the interception, and they may bring it back, though. It might be a clipping penalty after the interception.
Certainly Princeton did not want to do that on the first play. They gave it right back to Brown.
Well, an interesting offensive call, too, Lou. Only one receiver out in the pattern, and he was double covered. So I think McKelney was really looking to throw the ball away, but just didn't have enough on it. Only one receiver out in the pattern, usually a very safe type pattern. That's why you call it in such a situation. But certainly you don't want your quarterback giving it up that way. Throw it either a mile and a half or throw it out of bounds, because he was well covered, the receiver, that is.
Well, Brown gets it back at their own 17-yard line.
Yeah, it was a clipping call after the interception, Lou.
1st and 10 for the Bears with 3:51 remaining 3rd quarter. It's still 24-6 Princeton. Here's the give off tackle, and there's just not much there. Zebo Smith carries the football. Again, Princeton plays it well. Griff King on the tackle.
Brown now in the hurry-up offense. They're going with the no-huddle offense. You've got under 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. This is something that Brown has to do. They've got to get some scoring. They've got to get something out of this drive.
Perry in trouble. Lets it fly for Morey. Incomplete. Tim Green in on the play. Also Griff King once again. Perry never had a chance on that one.
No, again, if you're not giving a quarterback a chance to set, they get those happy feet, Lou. And I can't say as I blame them. When you got Tim Green at 5'9", 220, barreling right for your chest, my feet get a little happy also. I'd rather not stand there and take that shot.
3rd down 7 for the Bears.
3rd down and about 8.
You know, Princeton has mixed its defenses and its blitz packages extremely well today, Lou.
Perry looks to throw. Hit! As soon as he lets the ball go, he took an unbelievable shot. Brett Marshall came in again. That safety blitz has been a deadly weapon for Princeton.
I tell you, they've mixed it up so well, Lou. Linebacker blitz one play, free safety blitz coming another play, then the strong safety, then a corner. I tell you, Brown has been very confused by Princeton's defensive blitz packages today.
Perry, lucky he wasn't injured on that play. It's a high kick by Root. Damani Leach calls fair catch at the 47-yard line of Princeton. So Princeton will put it in play there. The Tigers with excellent field position. This telecast of Princeton University football is sponsored by McCaffrey's Supermarkets. McCaffrey's in the business of satisfying customers. In fact, McCaffrey's guarantees the highest quality in everything they offer. Market fresh fruits and vegetables, oven fresh baked breads, pastries, cakes, and a gourmet prepared meals ready to heat and eat. McCaffrey's a supermarket experience in Princeton, West Windsor, and Yardley, Pennsylvania. First down 10, Princeton. At the 47, McKelney steps back and then hands the ball off, but the Bears bunch it up at the line of scrimmage. Dave Gotcha on the tackle.
It's been a long time since Dave has gotten anybody, though, to tell you the honest truth. Princeton, again, mixing things up well. That was the defensive linemen haven't had much of a chance to grab and hold on to a running back as they've moved it all over the field, from sideline to sideline and north and south.
Twin receivers go to the right, but they run to the left. Here's Damian Taylor across the 50 and across the 45. One of the few times that Princeton has had success going wide in the game.
And the reason they did, again, another great lead block by your fullback, number 38, Mike Clifford, takes on Jamal Stevenson on the corner. Clifford gets the block, which means Gerardo can turn the corner. Positive yardage for Princeton. Again, that's called execution. When things go well, when your fullback gets the block and you got a speedy tailback, you get to the outside.
They'll measure to see if Princeton indeed picked up enough yardage for the first down, and it is a first down for the Tigers at the 44-yard line. 2:31 left here in the third quarter.
See, Lou, now Princeton can play field position football. You've got about 2.5 minutes left to go. You're on an opponent's side of the field. You got a big lead. All those intangibles are now on your side. So the whole complexity of the game changes.
Damian Taylor up the middle, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it will bring up 2nd and 10 for the Tigers.
Now, from Brown's standpoint, what they have to do defensively, and we used to call it stepping up. Somebody's got to step up defensively and make a big play, sack, throw somebody for a loss, cause a fumble, and that's what they're talking about in the huddle. Come on, guys, step up, step up. Somebody's got to make a big play on defense.
2nd down and 8. Split backs behind McKelney. Receivers also split left and right. And McKelney pitches to Taylor. Fumble! Ball is still loose, and Brown is recovered at the 44-yard line. The Tigers fumble the football, and Taylor never got the handle on that one.
Well, it was a quick pitch that we call a quick toss, and I told you Brown looking to make the big defensive play. They do it right there. Fairly high-risk play. Any kind of time you pitch the ball, when the ball literally leaves the quarterback's hands and is not directly placed in the running back's hands, you have a larger margin for error. That time, Taylor looking to run before he secured the football. Big mistake by Taylor, the youngster, the freshman.
First down and 10 for Brown. The Bears are at the 43. Perry fakes to Morey, then throws long for Campbell, and nearly picked off again. Threw into double coverage. Damani Leach. And
right there
also down there, Ryan Demler, backup free safety.
You know, just to get back to the play by Damian Taylor, it's a classic freshman mistake. You know, what do they say? The best thing about freshmen is eventually they become sophomores. Very talented running back. We mentioned kind of guy who's got a lot of potential, but he's got a lot to learn. Can't fumble in a situation like that.
2nd down 10. Fake handoff, set up the screen. There's no chance. Wall makes the catch. Mike Wall, as he made the catch, Jamie Toddings was on his back.
I tell you, Toddings, the outside linebackers, Green and Toddings, have just played outstanding football games. Great run support, blitzing the quarterback, covering the pass. They have been excellent today.
3rd and 14. Perry hit as he releases the ball. The catch is made. The big tight end, Zach Burns, Ludwig on the tackle. But Perry barely got that one away. It was not enough for the first down, and the Bears have to punt.
Heavy pressure again by the Princeton defense. Nice catch by the big tight end. First time we've called his name today. First pass to the tight end, but not enough for a first down.
Tom Root, high kick, Leach, fair catch at the 21-yard line. Princeton will put it in play there with 35 seconds left in the third quarter.
Tell you, things bode ill for Brown right now, as they have really, outside of the first two drives, did really not show, again, much in the third quarter. They're allowing Princeton to establish the tempo of the game. They're allowing Princeton to control field position. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for that fumble by Taylor, they'd even be in more dire straits than they are right now, and they're in deep.
24-6, and they have not shown much offense against the number 3 defense in the nation. Here's Nick Kelly, straight back to throw, hit as he releases, intercepted, picked off by Stevenson. Rocky Parson came on a safety blitz, and another critical Princeton turnover. Brown is getting every opportunity here in this third quarter, but they just haven't been able to cash in yet.
They're just not capitalizing. That guy, Rocky Parson, we have called his name all day, has had a stellar performance today. I tell you, he's keeping Brown afloat almost single-handedly. Certainly a team game, but I'd say he's doing everything. That time he came from a strong safety position, blitzed the quarterback, and he caused that interception.
First down 10 at the 27. 28 seconds left in the third. Here comes the blitz. Perry gets it away. He flips it to Wall. He breaks a tackle and is driven out of bounds at the 21. Perry barely got that pitch away. He was hit just as he was flipping the ball.
Yeah, Toddings on the blitz again, almost got him, but they managed to turn the corner. Talking about Brown, and I watched Damani Leach, an excellent pass defender. Got to work on his tackling a little bit. Reminds me a little of Deion Sanders. Great cover guy. I don't know if he likes to get too dirty, though. I don't know. Well, you got to work on that tackling technique a little bit.
Second down 5 at the 21. Here's Perry. He looks to throw. Fires. Catch made over the middle. Sean Morey. He's inside the 10 and is driven out at the 8-yard line.
It's a big series. You still have 15 seconds left in the quarter. If they can score before the end of the quarter, you know, a 24-13, or if they go for the 2-point conversion, 24-14 game has a completely different feel than 24-6, Lo.
No flag. A flag was thrown, but the official waves it off. So the ball indeed will be inside the 10.
Key to a play like that, again, Lou, is good protection by the offensive line. You have to allow Morey to drag across the field. That's why we call it a drag pattern. You let your other receivers clear out the area, the zone, and then you drag the receiver back across the middle. But it takes a lot of time, puts a lot of pressure on your offensive line. That time Brown did a great job. Good timing, good execution.
Trip receivers go to the left side, and Perry looks over that Princeton defense. There's a little bit of a delay. The official ran over to talk to Steve Tashius about something on the Princeton sideline. Not exactly sure what. With 15 seconds remaining, the Bears looking to creep a little bit closer. They trail 24-6. Out of the shotgun, to throw for the end zone is caught. Touchdown, Brown. And a penalty marker is thrown on the play as well. Nagmeni made the catch, but hold everything.
Should be offensive pass interference the way I saw it, Lou, but I'm not wearing that white hat, so let's see what happens. I saw it as offensive interference.
Indeed it is. Offensive pass interference against Gordon Nagmeni.
He pushed, Lou, to create some receiving space. It was good defense that time, what they call a fade pattern. But they, in order to be able to do that, in order to be able to get to the corner of the end zone and create some space between himself and the defender, in order to be able to go after the ball, Nagmeni pushed off. That you can't do.
So instead of a touchdown, Brown now has to march all the way back to the Princeton 23-yard line.
Again, that self-destruct thing that you were talking about, Lou. Brown has certainly had its opportunities here in the second half, but cannot capitalize for a variety of reasons.
Handoff goes up the middle, and Smith still on his feet, gets down to the 10-yard line. Very nice run by the sophomore Zebo Smith. Jamie Toddings on the tackle. That probably was the last play, indeed was, of the third quarter. We have played 3 quarters complete here in Providence. The score is Princeton 24, Brown 6. You're watching Princeton Tiger football on RCN Channel 8 Sports.
The best cable channels can only be found in RCN's Family Value Package. RCN's Family Value Package is the complete cable package. Call 1-800-321-0544.
Welcome back to beautiful Brown Stadium. Built in 1925 on the campus of Brown University here in Providence on an absolutely terrific day.
Flawless
for college football
Just
here
beautiful.
in Rhode Island. What a day. Brown trying to make it an even better day for the home fans. They have a second down and goal at the 10-yard line. Perry rolls out, throws it up for grabs, incomplete. He threw it on the track, actually. And that was a good decision because that man again, Jamie Toddings, was all over the Brown quarterback.
He's had a whale of a game. He really has. He has played the run well. He has defended the pass, and he has rushed the quarterback. That time, a good job by James Perry, the Brown quarterback. Everyone was covered. He was under heavy pressure. Did not take the sack. Did not throw the interception. Threw it at the lane 4 of the track.
It is 3rd down and 10. A critical play for the Bears, who trail 24-6. Perry looking, still looking. Throws incomplete. Intended at the 3-yard line for Sean Morey, but Damani Leach on the coverage.
Was right there, an outstanding cover guy. You know, I got on his case a little bit before for missing a couple of tackles, but boy, can he cover. He's an outstanding cover guy. Great quickness, and not only that, Lou, he's got great anticipation. That really makes for good defensive back play. Obviously, you have to have the physical skills. It's important to be quick, but you also have to have the head. You got to anticipate, and you have to then, therefore, react.
4th down and 10. This is a huge play for Brown. Campbell goes in motion, and Perry looks to throw. Now he rolls out. No one's open. He's in trouble. Lets it fly, and it is incomplete. Many made the catch, but it was out of the end zone. And Perry, again, chased around by David Ferrara and Griff King.
They had an interesting play call. They tried to take their fullback, number 44, drift him out into the left flat. They were going to use Morey as a decoy. They moved him right. They tried to slip the fullback out into the flat, but number 27, the free safety, Brett Marshall, read it all the way, so Perry literally had no one left to throw the football to. Great defense by Princeton.
I formation for the Tigers at the 10-yard line. 1st down and 10 for Princeton. Their first possession of the 4th quarter. Here is the pitch. Girardo trying to get outside. He's not going to get there. Rocky Parson came up and made the play. He got some help from number 20, Alex Pitts.
You know, I tell you, that kid Parson, you know, just going to wear his name out today. He has been everywhere. So it can be very frustrating for a player. You know, you're having the best game of your life, and your team's losing. It can be very frustrating. But hopefully the other players will respond to his efforts and play to that level as well. They have time.
2nd and 11. Handoff up the middle, then off tackle. Nothing there. Girardo trying to pick up some yardage, but the Bears playing very well defensively. Matt Kraskouskis came up to make the tackle. Now it's a 3rd down and 9. And a big play here for Princeton because, you know, sooner or later, if they keep giving Brown good field position, the Bears are going to punch it in.
Absolutely. You cannot give the other team this many opportunities. You know, again, this is not a high school game. It's not a 12-minute quarter. It's a 15-minute quarter. Those extra 3 minutes that you pick up in college, a good offensive ball club like Brown can do a lot with. So you want to move the ball here if you're Princeton.
McKelney sprints out, left side, he throws. And is it a reception? No, incomplete is the call at the 23-yard line. It was intended for Crowley, and guess who on the coverage? Rocky Parson, the strong safety.
Well, I tell you, he has just played a splendid ball game. I tell you, talk about a complete player, a guy who can defend the pass, rush the passer, and make tackles at the line of scrimmage. I'm real impressed with him. 6 foot, 190-pound senior.
Brown figures to get good position here. It's a line drive kick that bounces at the 50. Campbell fields at the 45. He's at the 45 of Princeton and busts across the 40-yard line. Unfortunately, you're going to have probably a holding call against Brown. So just when they get the good return, it looks like Alex Pitt might have got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah, it looked like he was doing a lot of pushing there. He was trying to get position, Lou, but he just couldn't get himself set, so he started using his hands. He was pushing quite a bit, pushing the player from behind. He was trying his best to do the right thing, but just couldn't get himself in good football position to make the block.
Boy, penalties have really hurt the Bears today.
Remember, we talked about that coming in from the second half. The one thing, you know, you get these stat sheets at halftime, and there was nothing that really jumped out at us, Lou. That was pretty even, rushing yards, passing, all that kind of stuff. But it was the penalties, and not only for the yardage, it was the timing of the penalties that were really critical. And Brown has continued that in the second half.
Receiver split left and right. Perry throws. Catch made up the sideline. Campbell sneaks through, splits 2 defenders at the 42-yard line. That's enough for a Brown first down.
Lou, watch for that next time. They're setting up a little stop and go there because they were looking for that all the way, a little 10, 12-yard turnaround stop. The ball's right there. You watch next time, you're going to have a pump fake and go. Let's look for that a little bit later on.
Just under 13 minutes left in the football game. It's 24-6 Princeton. Perry almost falls down, then lets it go. Magnetti makes the catch, breaks a tackle, and is down near the 32-yard line. And Perry took quite a shot as he let it go.
Again, Princeton putting pressure on the quarterback, but Perry doing a good job of hanging in there, getting the ball to Magnetti, who beat number 21, Jerry Wilson, over the middle.
It brings up a 2nd down and 1 at the 32. Trip receivers come out to the left side as sophomore quarterback James Perry comes up to the line of scrimmage. He hands off up the middle, then driving over left tackle is Mike Wall, and he has the first down. They'll move the sticks. Brett Marshall on the tackle for the Tigers.
What nifty feet by the fullback. I tell you, key thing, what's really fun to watch sometimes in a football game is watch the player's feet. You know, you take a big guy like this fullback, Mike Wall, he's, 5'11", about 205, 10 pounds, pretty thick guy. Watch how nifty his feet were. So nimble to avoid that shot in the backfield, then cut upfield and get positive yardage. It's a nice looking play.
Brown is called a timeout. The Bears look to talk it over, trailing 24-6.
We said this is. I'm sorry, Lou. We said this is a huge series. This is a huge series in a series of huge series.
The Bears have not been able to make any headway. They trail by 18 points. Well, of course, Ivy League football full of great tradition. And are you ready, Frank, for your Brown football trivia question of the day? Here it is. Actually, I'll give the question and the answer. Brown once played in what bowl, what major New Year's Day bowl? Yes, the Brown Bears did play in a major New Year's Day bowl. It was the Rose Bowl in 1916 against Washington State.
It's very interesting, and people don't realize that the Ivy League schools were the strongest schools for football for many, many years and played in many bowl games.
Oh, sure. And Princeton, of course, had a Heisman Trophy winner in Dick Kazmaier. Great tradition in the Ivy League. Back to throw. Perry was not back. Excuse me, handed the ball off up the middle. He fooled me, but not the Princeton defense.
Nice fake up the middle there. That actually wasn't a fake. As he handed to the quarterback, I was looking for you also. I thought he was going to get stomped by number 94. Griff King was in the backfield again.
2nd down and 8 for the Bears. So all kinds of movement and pushing and just an ugly play that time. Dan McClutchy.
Looked like the offensive left tackle, number 57, flinched.
Legal procedure against the Bears. Penalties, penalties, penalties. Well, we know one thing that Mark Whipple will put up on the chalkboard in practice this week. Penalties.
It's killed them. It really has. They've moved the ball wonderfully between the 20s, and they've showed good play calling and good execution, except for the penalties at the most key moments.
Perry flings it out the wall. He's at the 25. Good job by Wall to get inside the 20-yard line because Princeton had the play diagnosed. Brett Marshall and Damani Leach came over, but Wall slipped outside.
I'm impressed with this fullback. He's not overly big, decent size for this level of football. As we said, 5'11", about 205 pounds, but he's quick with quick feet, and he did the smart thing also by getting out of bounds and stopping the clock. Good play, fullback Mike Wall.
3rd down and 4 at the 19-yard line. One setback behind Perry. He looks to throw, fires, catch is made near the 15-yard line. It's close to the 1st down. Catch made by Morey. The Brown fans really let the referee have it. They thought there was a bad spot. It brings up a 4th and 1.
Well, they're sitting in just about the same spot we are, which is, I said, about a half a mile from the field. I'd leave it up to the officials.
4th down and 1. Movement by
again.
Princeton. And that would be enough for the 1st down if the play stands. Mike Wall on the carry, but again, a flag was thrown.
Looks like it's going to go against Princeton. Yep, they jump that time. So finally, Brown catches a break with a penalty.
Offside against the Tigers. That'll be 5 to the 10-yard line, just outside the 10. And Brown has a 1st and 10, just outside the 10-yard line. Technically, they can get a 1st down inside the 1. But Brown has played this tune before. They have not been able to cash in today. Perry throws, end zone, touchdown, Brown. Zach Burns, the tight end, on the reception, and the Bears finally get into the end zone.
Huge play, a simple post pattern by the big tight end, lining up on the right side, just heads for the post, and a beautiful throw by James Perry. As we used to say, put it on a frozen rope right there. When you're going to get a big, bulky tight end like that, virtually impossible to defend.
Tom Rout is in to kick the extra point. The snap is good. The kick is up. It's good. 10:42. Tons of time left. Princeton 24 and Brown 13.
A little surprised, though, Lou, that they didn't go for the 2-point conversion, which would have made it 24-14, which means a touchdown and a field goal could tie it up, or a field goal, touchdown, and another 2-point conversion, you can win the game. So a little unusual by Coach Mark Whipple not to go for the 2 points. But he's down there, I'm up here, I'm not second guessing. That's just my opinion.
Well, Brown will kick it off, and Princeton now, let's put the shoe on the other foot. The Tigers have done very little offensively here this 2nd half. Now is the time to put together some kind of an offensive drive. Not necessarily score points, but they need to do something positive offensively.
No question, though, there's no doubt about it. They really have not executed well in the 2nd half. They just were almost flawless in the 1st half and really haven't done much well in the 2nd half. They're still trying to mix it up. They're throwing the ball on 1st down, but they're not executing. And that's what they have to do here. Again, they don't need the points, obviously, but if they could play a little field position now, get a decent drive going, even if they have to kick, if they can get up around midfield, kick the ball away, and then let their excellent defensive play, they'll be in good shape.
High kick by Rout. It sails back to the goal line. On the return for the Tigers, Jerry Gerardo, and he's across the 20-yard line. So the Tigers will come out offensively.
Now, Lou, you have over 10 minutes left to go. Princeton cannot sit on this thing. They've got to move the football somewhat. As you said, not to belabor a point. Points you'll always take, but they're not essential here. You really want time to be your ally, so you want to kill the clock with a good, sustained drive.
Twin receivers to the left side, and McKelney rolls that way. He's going to keep the football, just a naked quarterback bootleg, and he drives out of bounds across the 30 to about the 32.
Great call, a safe call, good gain on first down, but this is what you were talking about with Coach Tosh, is what he says about McElney from time to time. He needs to be a little bit more consistent. He needs to make better judgments. That time, good play, but a poor judgment by going out of bounds. Cut the ball back into the middle of the field, keep that clock running. That's judgment, and that's what Coach Tosh is talking about with McElney. Good talent level, great skill level, a competitor, but he's got to use better judgment, especially for a senior.
Second down and 1. And now...
Measurement possibly, Lou?
Possibly. I'm not quite sure. Nope.
Nope. Just taking a break. It's a hot day out there. A little sunny, you know. They need a break, too, those officials. They do a great job, those guys, I tell you. It's easy to second-guess them, but I wouldn't. I'll tell you, it's tough down there.
Second down and 1. Let's see what Princeton does on this play. Brown shows blitz. Damian Taylor carries. I'm not quite sure he got the first down. He was hit at the 21. Rocky Parson came up and made the hit, and now it brings up a very big play for Princeton because it'll be 3rd and 1. The Tigers do not want to go 3 and out and kick the ball back to Brown.
Well, I tell you, I think somebody's going to have to kidnap Rocky Parson from the Princeton sideline if they want any success on these plays. He has just been superb today. That was a great play.
And the Brown fans get into it. Looking for some defense on a 3rd and 1. Long count, quarterback sneak. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's going to be close. McElney went over right tackle. Brian Herdman, 6'2", 285, the right guard, and Steve Lamberton, 6'4", 280. And it is a first down for the Tigers, I believe. Yes, it is. First down, Princeton.
No, Princeton has a big, young offensive line, and they should be exerting themselves right now. I mean, you've got 6'3", 295, 6'3", 280, 6'2", 260, 6'4", 285, 6'4", 280 across the front. Plenty of size there to move the football on the ground.
First and 10 at the 32. Split backs behind McElney. He hands it off up the middle. Damian Taylor with the carry, and he's up near the 40-yard line. Nice run on first down.
You know what? I'm sure the young guy is motivated. You know, had a crucial fumble before when it looked like Princeton had a chance to really, truly put the game away. He fumbled at a key moment, and now he's running real hard, obviously trying to make amends for that really key fumble earlier in the second half.
Second down and 2 at the 40-yard line. Again, it's Taylor up the middle, slashing across the 45, and now you have a penalty flag on the play. Could be a face mask against the Bears.
Yeah, I think I'm sorry, Lou. I think it's going to be a face mask because remember, Brown right now is looking to tackle the football, so there's lots of hands and arms and everything out there trying to lash at that football, and they'll just grab anything they touch first, and then a lot of times that's the mask, and that's a no-no.
And it is a 15-yard penalty against the Bears as they march it down all the way to the 39-yard line.
Third quarter statistics just came, and again, looking to that penalty line. This is the 9th penalty unofficially against Brown. I'm telling you, it's hard to win a football game when you're committing 9, 10, and more penalties a game. Very difficult.
9 penalties, over 75 yards in penalties. First down and 10. Brown shows blitz. They've got 7 men on the line of scrimmage. The pitch to Taylor. He's banged down. The ball might be loose. It is second down. Princeton has recovered inside the 40 at the 37-yard line. Ball came loose, but the Bears were unable to get to it. That could have been costly.
And you notice who just went immediately to the sideline, too, Damian Taylor. And I'll tell you, if I was Damian, I would go from the end of the bench and try to work my way in behind the players because, you know, Steve Tosh is standing right there and say, Damian, you're killing me out there. You got to hang on to that football, son.
Twin receivers to the right side. I formation for the Tigers. Now they jump out of the I with a second down and 8. McElney looks to throw. He rolls out, has protection, fires, nearly intercepted, is it? Let's see the call. No, incomplete is the call. Almost picked off by Rocky Parson.
I'm tired of saying that guy's name, Lou. He has just been outstanding. How could one guy cover that much ground? I got to use one of my favorite terms. I haven't used it all game. The ubiquitous Rocky Parson. He has been everywhere. He's making big tackles at the line of scrimmage. He's making sacks. He's making interceptions. He's knocking down passes. What a player.
3rd down and 9 for the Tigers. At the 37. Back to throw Nikelny. Tipped at the line of scrimmage, but caught! It's caught by Wendler inside the 25-yard line.
You know, Lou, sometimes when things just go right for you, there's no other way to explain it than that they just go right for you. That ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and the path of the ball was obviously deflected. But Wendler, again, concentrating, following the path of the ball all the way, looked it into his hands for a big game for Princeton.
This is a big drive for the Tigers. They can put this away with some points here. 1st and 10 at the 21, Gerardo, and he's hammered behind the line of scrimmage. Under 7 minutes left in the game. And Princeton leads 24-13, but the Tigers already in field goal range.
They'll play very conservatively now, I would think, Lou, with the possible exception of pretty much everybody thinking that may be a play-action pass, just to throw in a little wrinkle here or there. But certainly no one would mind from the Princeton sideline if they played very conservatively. They have the field position now. They have the clock and the time on their side.
McKelney fires outside, incomplete.
So much for my theory, Lou.
Receiver was open. That was Bruce Erb, the backup fullback, sophomore out of our neck of the woods, Pequannock, New Jersey.
Quite a few New Jersey players for Princeton, as Princeton is in New Jersey. I knew that.
Yes, you did. It's very good.
I knew that. I've seen it on a map. That's about as close as they'll let me get to Princeton, unless they let me announce a game down there. That's pretty much it.
I'm glad we got you that atlas. All right, 3rd down and 10, and timeout is taken by Princeton. So the Tigers want to talk it over with 6 minutes and 17 seconds left. Well, if you look ahead, Princeton next week will be on the road, as they will be all season. They are nicknamed the Road Warriors this year for good reason. Of course, Palmer Stadium torn down. A new Princeton Stadium is being built and will open next season. All the games are on the road except for one game, which technically is a home game, but it's a Giant Stadium on November 15th against Yale. Next week they'll be at Colgate, and that is not an easy game. Granted, it's not an Ivy League game, but Colgate right now is one of the top teams in Division I AA, and they are in first place in the Patriot League.
Yeah, Colgate up in Hamilton, New York, has had a very rich football tradition. I remember a few years ago, they would play the likes of Rutgers. They would kind of pretty much take on anybody. They would play Penn State. They would play Rutgers, and certainly at times take it on the chin. But that's how you develop a program. There's no question. By playing against the best competition, you tend to elevate the level of play of your players, and it's paid off for Colgate, as you had mentioned, one of the top teams in the Patriot League and one of the top 1AA teams in the nation.
3rd down, 10. McKelney looks to throw. He fires. It's nearly picked off by Parson, and he would have had 6 if he had picked that.
I just can't tell you, Lou, how impressed I am with this kid, Rocky Parson. He is just playing so hard. We've called his name repeatedly, and for doing everything. What a versatile performer.
Senior strong safety for the Brown Bears. Came in with 4 interceptions on the season, now has 5. He almost had 6 right there. All right, Alex Sirk is in. This is a 38-yard field goal attempt. Snap is good. The kick is up. It is Good, what a leg by Sirkin. He still is flawless. Field goal attempts this year. He has not missed a field goal attempt in 1997.
And you know, he makes them right down the center. I mean, it's not even close from the standpoint of missing. If you know what I'm driving at, I mean, it's right down the center of the goalpost from virtually any distance. Very impressive. And even that little drive, that score means so much for Princeton. Now Brown just has that much further to come back with that much less time on the clock. Very important drive for Princeton. Very key 3 points. As a matter of fact, I see some of the Brown people are starting to head for those exits. I think it's a little early for that, but they're starting to get that feeling.
6 minutes and 8 seconds left in the game, and Brown needs 2 touchdowns to come from behind to win this game.
Well, when you got a player like a Sean Morey who can, averages over 21 yards a catch, obviously Brown can score in a hurry. But on the other side of that coin, obviously Princeton is going to be looking for just that and will not allow that to happen if it's at all within their power.
Alex Sirk will kick it off this time for the Tigers. It's a short kick that will come down to Wall. He falls down. The ball hits him. He picks it up, gives it to Morey. Morey says, thanks a lot.
And it gets crushed. I'll tell you, if I was Morey, I'd have something. I'd have a little talk with my fullback, Mike Wall, and say, Mike, thanks a lot. Just, just not well conceived from the very beginning. And again, Mike Wall, who has played a good game, and certainly not to make light of him, has played a good game, but did not get himself in position to field the football and be in an attacking position. He was back on his heels, and it just went downhill from there.
First down 10 for the Bears. Perry rolls out. Right side, fires for Nagmedi, incomplete. Damani Leach on the coverage.
All over him, a great cover guy. I tell you, from what I've seen from Damani Leach, he's certainly a pro prospect. He's very quick, great cover guy. To work on that tackling technique a little bit, and he could be there.
Second down and 10 coming up for the Bears at the 17-yard line. 5:53 remaining. Brown in a desperate situation now. They need to score 2 touchdowns in the span of 5:53 to avoid their first Ivy League loss of the season. Perry on his heels, throws for Morey, and it's nearly intercepted. And again, the coverage was Damani Leach. And Debler also back on the play.
Well, Perry throwing into double coverage, and in any deep pattern, that's what's going to happen right now, because obviously Princeton will give Brown the 5- and 6-yard gain on the ground. That's no problem. So they will skew their defense to prevent the long play from happening. So Brown has really got to look for more of a sustained drive, those 8, 10, 12-yard type of completions. Can't look for it all in one shot. Won't happen.
Third down 10. Perry looks to throw. Over the middle, nearly picked off. Intended for Morey, but Tim Green and Tom Ludwig were both there in the coverage, and the Bears will have to punt.
Again, a poor series for Brown. They looked to try to get too much too soon. Again, you still have just about 6 minutes left. You take 8, 10, 12 yards a chunk. And again, because the defense will not allow you to have any more than that.
Tom Root the kick. Damani Leach the fair catch. Thought he fair catch, but he did not. And he takes it at the 45-yard line. Alex Pitt is the man who makes the tackle downfield.
Now again, here you got the field position game happening. Not only did Brown come up without any points, they did not move the ball up the field. So now they're on the short end of the field position game. So everything went completely wrong for Brown again in that series. Now Princeton can be very content to just run the football and run out the clock.
And off goes to Gerardo. Off tackle. Parsons came flying into the pile like he was shot out of a cannon.
No quitting that kid, I tell you. He has played whistle to whistle. But, you know, we don't get enough of an opportunity to really talk about those big guys up front, and they have done a great job. On the left side there, Justin Bennett, number 72, a 6'3", 295-pound junior, and Hameen Abdullah, 6'3", 280, a sophomore, number 57, blocking hard from the very first play right down to the end of the game.
Second down and 7. Gerardo hit and brought down by the line of scrimmage. Jamal Stevenson in on the play for the Bears. Under 5 minutes left in the game, and Brown now has called a timeout. So the Bears call the timeout, trailing 27-13 with 4:47 remaining. This telecast of Princeton University football is sponsored in part by McCaffrey's Supermarkets. McCaffrey's does catering for the best the season has to offer, whatever the occasion. McCaffrey's has the answer. Tailgate parties, casual events, or formal affairs, you can count on McCaffrey's to make it easier on you. McCaffrey's, a supermarket experience in Princeton, West Windsor, and Yardley, Pennsylvania.
It looks a little bit, again, certainly not to take anything away from Brown. I have not seen them, so it's not fair to pass huge judgments. But we were concerned going in, as any team prepares for their game. We prepared for our game, and we were wondering just how good Brown was. Again, the gaudy offensive statistics, but we were a little concerned about the level of competition. They had not played a team with a defense like Princeton's.
Well, Mark Whipple, coming into the game, flat out said, we have not played a team as good as Princeton. It's the best team we've played so far. McKelney on the run, and a penalty flag flies as McKelney gets across the 30. Jerry Gerardo looked like he might have been caught for holding.
Yeah, downfield, they threw it. You know, when they throw the flag on the guy, it makes our job a little bit easier to see who might be having the penalty. But look, Gerardo was involved, but it may not be against him, but they literally threw it and hit him with the flag. So let's see what happens, Lou.
Well, it was interesting earlier in the week, Mark Whipple in the press conference, of course, the weekly press conference, questions were thrown at him. Well, you've piled up so much yardage, you've scored so much points, and he cut reporters off very quickly and simply said, listen, that's all great, and we're all happy about that, but we have not played a team as good as Princeton. And he let everyone know that right away, and certainly that assessment was accurate.
I'd say I'm very impressed with Princeton, and again, no surprise necessarily defensively. Lou, you prepped me and said, hey, watch them, these guys can play defense. Offensively, a little inconsistent. They really put it together, particularly in the first half, played virtually a flawless first half, and in the second half certainly played well enough offensively, we leave the defensive out of it, but offensively certainly played well enough in key moments to obviously win this ball game.
First down and 10 for the Tigers, looking to go 1-1 in the Ivy League and 3-1 overall. Out of the I formation, and the pitch goes to Gerardo. He wants to turn the corner, but he won't get there. The Bears come up nicely on the play. Jamal Stevenson, also Ernest Dean, in on the tackle for Brown.
You know, that's the first time we've called Ernest Dean's number, the number 92, the outside linebacker. Made a nice stop that time, but it seems like the only guy we've been mentioned with any real consistency has been number 37, Rocky Parson for Brown.
Brings up a 2nd and 14. Clock ticking down. McKelney calls the signals with 3:41 left to give to the fullback, Mike Clifford. And he picks up a couple. It'll bring up a 4th down and a timeout to be taken by Brown. Well, the Bears next week out of the Ivy League, as is Princeton. Brown next week will take on quite a rival of theirs, the Rams of Rhode Island. Rhode Island versus Brown, that's a home game right here. And that's always a nice, fun rivalry in the state of Rhode Island, almost like the championship of Rhode Island, I guess you would say. Rhode Island, of course, having played in the former Yankee Conference. Now the Atlantic 10 playing football, Rhode Island in there.
A nice little program there at Rhode Island, really. A nice, beautiful campus, beautiful school, nice little stadium there. Got a good buddy there we've done some sports casting with, Damian Riley, who was an excellent wide receiver there for Rhode Island for 2 years, went on to play pro football with the Indianapolis Colts and then a little bit with the New York Jets. We've had the good fortune of doing some sports casting with him out of the University of Rhode Island. Beautiful up here, Lou. I tell you, what a setting for a game, what a day. Just wonderful.
Beautiful day in New England. Temperature in the 60s, a little on the cool side, but hey, it's New England, right? In October.
And it's football weather.
Supposed to be cool. McElney looks to throw, and he's in trouble, and he's smashed down.
Say it, Lou. Go ahead.
He can't do it. It's Rocky Parson on the play.
He has just been incredible. I'm telling you, Lou, he had 16 tackles on the season. He has to have very close to that today. We don't have the official statistics in front of us, but seriously, we've had to call his name out more than a dozen times for various plays. I'm sure he has at least 10 tackles, an interception, and a couple of knockdown passes.
Now, Alex Sirk is in. He'll try to kick a 47-yard field goal. Remember, he's perfect on the season. Kick is up. The kick is
right down the middle.
47-yard field. Actually, the official is 46. A 46-yard field goal. With 2:46 left, it's Princeton 30 and Brown 13. He's amazing, sir.
Amazing. You know, not only for the fact that he has not missed, he's just so accurate. Lou, that ball was right down the middle. Right down the middle, and with room to spare, that probably would have been good from 50 yards.
I'll tell you, he's going to draw some attention of some pro scouts if he continues to kick this way in his actually only his junior season, Alex Sirk.
Absolutely. And what about Princeton here? I mean, going in, what did they score offensively? They blocked a couple of punts for scores and stuff. What did they have, 20 or 21 offensive points for the whole year?
Right.
They have 30 today. So they really put it together today. An overall strong performance, Lou, from Princeton from top to bottom. Great special teams, super defense, and an excellent offense.
Here's Wall at the 10. Actually, it's Morey across the 20. Morey was looking for Wall. He was going to give it to Wall.
He said, I owe you this one. You know what he wanted to do? He wanted to wait till there were more Princeton players around before he handed it off.
All right, the Bears have a first down and 10 at the 22. All joking aside, Brown down now by 17 points, and obviously they're in deep trouble here. And the pass is complete to the 30-yard line. If you look ahead for Brown, their next Ivy League game will be October 25 at Penn. It does not get easy for Brown. They have to go at Penn, then Cornell, then Harvard, then at Dartmouth. What a stretch that'll be. The ball is loose. A tough stretch coming up for the Brown Bears. For Princeton, their next Ivy League clash will be at Harvard in 2 weeks. And Harvard considered to be in the mix for perhaps preseason Ivy League top honors. So the Ivy League season really dives in full tilt in the next 2 weeks.
Another great place for a college football game, an ancient stadium in Cambridge. It's just a wonderful neighborhood, great feel to the place. This is the oldest stadium in America now, isn't it?
That's correct. Here's the pitch to Powell, and he's brought down at the 30-yard line. And with that pitch, many of the Brown fans get up and start heading for the exits. They realize now with 2 minutes left that this one is in the books.
It's a done deal, though, I tell you. It really was after the end of the first half. It looked like Brown had their opportunities, but they did not cash in early in the second half, and then it just continued to go downhill from there.
And Powell is hit and dropped behind the line of scrimmage in Princeton. Tim Green in on the tackle. Princeton just storming in now. Brown just content to run the football. Actually, it might have been a fumble on the play. Is that right? Fumble. Princeton recovered the football. What a day. You see that defense walking off the field. What a stellar performance again for the Princeton defense against a team that was averaging 44 points a game. They give up just 13.
And 521 yards in total offense. That's not like a football game. That's like a track meet. I've been on the short side of some of those scores, and I can tell you it's not fun, Lou.
Harry McKelney takes a knee, so Princeton will run the clock out with 1:35 left. And again, you just have to be really impressed with that Princeton defense. That is a solid unit all the way around, from the defensive line to the secondary, and the rest of the Ivy League is going to have an awfully difficult time dealing with that defense this year.
No question, Lou. You know, when I first looked at it, and I first looked at the statistics, I said, well, they're really not big. They're a little small in the linebacking core, not too big on defense. They got a 225-pound defensive tackle. Maybe some of the bigger teams might, you know, bully them a little bit, but I am very impressed. They execute and they hustle, Lou. You see, you can make up for so much that you might be lacking physically if you hustle, and that's always a good sign of great coaching. So congratulations to Coach Tasha's and Princeton. They did a great job today, and this could be a turning point in their season. They might really be contenders from now on in.
Third down at 12, and McKelney just takes a knee. With 35 seconds left and the clock counting down, the Tigers are going to win here on the road in Providence. A very impressive win against the previously undefeated team, the Brown Bears. Timeout taken, I think, by Brown to stop the clock.
Yes,
30 seconds left.
Their final timeout, Lou. You know what's also very impressive about this Princeton team, and we certainly mentioned it a couple of times, is the fact that they're known as the Road Warriors. They have to play all their games on the road. And unless you've really done it, Louis, people don't realize how difficult it can be. The travel time, especially in the Ivy League, where the academics are not lessened or laxed for the players. They have the same academic workloads, the same requirements as the other students, and they have to keep up with their studies. And when you're constantly on the road, it makes things just that much more difficult for you. So the fact that they can come all the way up here and pull off an impressive win like this is just something that's real important to the Princeton faithful.
McKelney on fourth down actually hands it off up the middle. Looks like Mike Clifford, the fullback, carried. And now Brown will get the ball back with 24 seconds left.
Well, here's you get to pad your statistics here, one way or the other, either offensively or defensively. Obviously, if you're a defensive lineman, you're looking to pad your sack statistics. If you're a defensive back, you may want to pick up an interception. And obviously for Brown as an offensive player, you know, pick up a score or something like that.
7 defensive backs in the game for Princeton.
Yeah, and one of them just about on the goal line, too.
With 24 seconds left. 3-man rush, and the throw over the middle to Morey is incomplete.
When you got your top receiver in the nation letting the ball go right through his hands at the end of the game, you can tell the team is really kind of demoralized at this point. You know, they know they really don't have much of a chance of winning, but this is where coaching comes in also. I know Coach Whipple will be sure to make sure, you know, to make sure that the players realize, hey, look, it's 60 minutes and I want you to play from whistle to whistle. I don't care what the scoreboard is.
And of course you got the whole Ivy League season left. This is only the second game of the Ivy League schedule. Perry floats it out, incomplete.
Nice defense by 21, looked like Jerry Wilson. That was really, really nice defense. Again, with those orange numerals on those white shirts, it's a little tough to see from up here, but I believe it was 21, Jerry Wilson. Really nice job of turning and running with the wide receiver and then reacting when the receiver reacted. You got to remember, as a defensive back, your head is down, you're running with him. You've got to read his body language. As he looks up for the ball, you do the same thing. That's good defense.
3rd Third down and 10 for the Bears at the 28. Handoff up the middle, and breaking into the secondary looks to be Powell. He's hit by Brett Marshall across the 45. With 6 seconds left, they'll set the chain, and then they'll snap one more play, and Princeton will go to 3-1 on the year, but more importantly, 1-1 in the Ivy League. Penalty flag flies. Perry throws. It is nearly intercepted, but I think caught by... Nope, incomplete across the 40, and that'll do it. That obviously...
An offensive penalty, a legal procedure there. I didn't believe the offensive men were set for the full second, Lou, so this should be it. You know, the game can't end on a defensive penalty, but it can on an offensive penalty.
And that is it. The final score, Princeton 30 and Brown 13. Frank Labono, a very impressive win for Steve Toshis and his club.
There's no question, from top to bottom, a total team effort, and I mean that in every sense of the word, from the coaching staff right on down, Lou. They had an excellent game plan, both offensively and defense. They were well prepared on their special teams. They executed well on their punts, their field goal kicking. They blocked a punt, which led to a score. So they were really well coached with a well-conceived game plan from top to bottom. But then, you know, you got to leave the game plan, if you will, a little bit in the locker room, and then the players have to execute it. And the Princeton players did exactly that. Rock-solid defense, and a really nice job out of their performance, out of their quarterback, Harry McElney. Did a really great job, again, of keeping him in the game, making the big plays when he had to, and certainly not hurting them by making poor judgments. As a matter of fact, throughout the whole game, I think he only made that one poor judgment, which was that overthrown ball on the interception. Otherwise, he played a great game.
Well, for Princeton, they improved to 3-1, but more importantly, 1-1 in the Ivy League. And of course, to Ivy League teams, that is the most important record, the Ivy League record. And the Tigers even that mark after losing to Cornell earlier in the season. Brown drops to 1-1 in the Ivy, and they drop to 3-1 overall. That'll do it from Brown Stadium in Providence, Rhode Island. The final score once again, Princeton 30 and Brown 13. For Frank Labono and everyone here at RCN Sports, I'm Lou Brogno. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week from Hamilton, New York, when the Princeton Tigers take on the Red Raiders of Colgate. Again, the final score here from New England, 30-13, Princeton.